Tick tock, time to rock. Good evening, good morning, good afternoon to everyone who's watching from all over the world. It's your friendly neighborhood philosopher here, D Wood. If you're looking for AP, told AP, take the night off because he's got a debate tomorrow, so he doesn't need to be going through all this stuff right now, right before his debate, polluting his mind with all the Dawah drama. Like, why do you want to be focused on this stuff right before a debate? So anyway, I said, hey, we've got all this covered. Thaddeus, fortunately, has been going through all this stuff way more than we have. And Hatun was around these guys at Speaker's Corner for many years, so she knows them well. So we've actually we've got a better lineup than AP would be anyway on this particular topic. Anyway, a while back, we were trying to keep everyone up to date on the stuff as it was coming out, but it was like daily, and it was like both sides posting videos and both sides posting messages and so on, and it was too much to keep up with, so we gave up and did other stuff. But we do want to give everyone a big update here on what's been going on, because Thaddeus, and you've been going through this, it's actually hard. It reminds me of the Andrew Tate thing, where if you're not paying close attention to the evidence and so on, and you're just kind of listening to what everyone is saying, well, if he has a ton of people saying, oh, there's no evidence, there's no charges, this has been all thrown out and so on, and you hear, that's all you see is people saying that sort of stuff. And then you'll see like occasionally one or two channels saying, no, that's all false. You don't know what to believe here. But it's the same situation where they're accusing her of making stuff up and of fabricating evidence, and they're accusing them of fabricating evidence. And unless you're like really, really paying attention and going through all the claims, it's not clear what's going on. It's just like, wow, it seems everyone is lying, so I don't know what to believe, and let me just ignore this, which seems to be the goal, right? The goal of tossing up smoke screens is all the people who aren't really examining the evidence as it's coming out just think, oh, well, I don't know what happened, so let me just stay out of this and not form an opinion, and it'd be a tiny fraction of people who are actually examining all the videos and looking at all the evidence and stuff. And so that seems to be the goal. But there's some stuff where I was kind of paying attention, but I still don't know what's going on with like a screenshot of one of her tweets, or text messages or something like this, that she supposedly put it out, and then everyone said she's lying and she's fabricating evidence. And then even AP was like, hey man, they got screenshots showing that she's lying and making stuff up. And then I was like, well, even that could be out of desperation, because I know those guys are liars. And therefore, even if she's a liar, that doesn't mean she's lying about this particular topic. If she got frustrated and made a fake image or something like this, that wouldn't mean she's lying about being his hotel wife and stuff like that. Because even if he were completely honest and we caught her lying, then that would be like, oh, okay, we're going to probably side with this guy. But when we dealing with a compulsive liar that lies every time we've ever interacted with him, then it's like, oh, okay, well, she lied. That doesn't mean he's telling the truth, because he's a compulsive liar too. But then it comes out, no, maybe she didn't even post that, and they fabricated the evidence that they say she fabricated. And it's all just a real messed up situation. So we're actually going to go through this stuff, ladies and gentlemen. Thaddeus has been going through it all, and again, Hatun's been dealing with these guys for a long time. But Thaddeus, before we actually get into the evidence, why don't you give people a quick introduction to what you do and why you're interested in this particular topic and why you've actually been going through it? Because I'm glad someone is. 'Cause that's the thing. It's just too time consuming for everyone to really be going through all this stuff, and they know that, why they want to keep throwing up the smoke screens.
Yeah, absolutely. So I'm a Christian. I run an apologetics and polemics channel focused on outreach to Muslims. Lately, this has been pretty much the only thing I've been focusing on. It is, as you say, pretty much a full-time endeavor to keep up with all the developments in the Mohammed Hijab, Ali Dawah, Aisha situation. So I've been keeping a close eye on that, kind of digging into it, looking at the evidence and evaluating things. When that screenshot came out, I said, well, maybe she did fake a screenshot of a conversation. Like maybe she was trying to recall the conversation and recreate it because it had been deleted, because Hijab had all the messages set to auto delete after 24 hours. So if you weren't mistrusting him at the time, you wouldn't have had screenshots. But then it turns out when you dig into it that it was 100% proof that it was faked, not by Aisha, but by the person who circled her air because they messed up when they put together their little fake screenshot and put things in the wrong order. And so it looks like it's supposed to be a screenshot of a YouTube video, but the YouTube overlay is over the top of the circle that they did. So it was definitely faked by someone in Hijab's circle, whether that's Ali Dawah or someone else. Hard to say, but definitely someone in his circle faked that screenshot. So you got to wonder what the desperation here is. If they're, oh, you know, she's the one, you can't believe her. Look, she's faking stuff. And then they're faking it. So if they're faking it and they're telling you not to believe the person who's faking stuff, I guess we shouldn't believe them.
I have to say, as far as why they're going all out, right? So Mohammed Hijab has been defending this stuff for years, saying, of course, you can lie to your first wife and have a secret second wife. And he's been defending all this stuff for years. So when it actually gets exposed and, hey, you've got this secret second wife, and apparently multiple secret second wives, because they're aware of the Sheikh performing multiple secret second wife marriages with him, at least as I recall, why does he want to deny it? You've been defending it as completely compatible with Islam for years. Then someone says, hey, you're doing it. And no, I didn't do it. It's like, why are you denying it? I think the issue is, as far as them going to war, because you'd sit here wondering, wait a minute, if these guys are actually fabricating, like they're taking a screenshot from one of her videos, from one of her texts, and then doctoring it to make it obviously fake, and then posting it and saying she posted this and so on. Okay, whoever's doing that knows that he's lying about her. Whoever's doing that knows that he's fabricating evidence against her to discredit her, and he knows he's lying about it. And this is someone in Ali Dawah and Mohammed Hijab circle. And it's like, you know you're lying against a woman to cover up something that one of your Dawah bros did. You know that. And you're doing it anyway. And then they all jump in on it. You think, why would they be that desperate to just flat out lie about a woman? And I'm thinking it's because this probably goes on a lot behind the scenes, and they're trying to set an example, like, do not cross us. All you secret second wives, third wives, fourth wives, hotel wives, mutta wives, misyar wives, all of you, do not get the idea that you can come forward with this stuff, because we will destroy you. And there are no holds barred with us. There are no holds barred with us. So it's like Andrew Tate, when one of his cam girls makes a statement and they all pile on and try to destroy her life and pile on lawsuits and so on. So they're trying to set an example for anyone else who might be thinking about coming forward. Don't even try it. Give that up. It's not worth it. Do you want us to ruin the rest of your life? If you don't, shut up. Yeah, we used you. We turned you into a prostitute, but don't cross us on this. And by the way, they're not just fabricating the evidence and so on, but even before that, when they're threatening them not to come forward, it's all, do you really want to have this reputation? Do you want to have the reputation of a prostitute? Do you want to have the reputation of a hotel wife? Do you want to have this? No, then keep your mouth shut. And that's how they keep these women under control, right? It's they've got multiple ways of doing this. And I pointed this out in a previous live stream. This reminds me of what they were doing with the Sikhs years ago, where you would have a Muslim guy would seduce a Sikh girl or woman, but they'd video record it. And then, because there's still kind of an honor shame culture among the Sikhs, they would say, oh, look, now we've got a video of you in what you did. We will give this to your family unless you do what we say. And they turn her into an actual prostitute. And she has to then, for years, be a prostitute. Or they will show her, having sex to her parents and so on. But guess what? It's the same. Now you find out it's the same. They're treating Muslim women the same. It's, hey, we're basically going to turn you into our hotel wives, our prostitutes. And we're not going to pay you. We're just, if you ever cross us, we will shame you and we will embarrass you, and you will have the reputation of a woman who is basically on the level of a prostitute. And you don't want that in the Muslim community. And so you're going to keep your mouth shut. So they keep their mouths shut that way. But now they have this as well. We'll actually fabricate evidence and discredit you and convince everyone you're a liar even though we're the ones who are lying. Very, very sick stuff. Anyway, Hatun, this must be massively confusing for you because you were around these guys for many years and they seem like the upright pillars of honesty and integrity that we've all come to expect, which is why this is so shocking. It's so shocking that these guys are coming out with this stuff all of a sudden. It's weird. It's weird. It's weird. But yeah, Hatun, why don't you tell everyone about yourself? Everyone knows you, but tell everyone about yourself for anyone who might be new here. What you've been doing and what impressions you've gotten from the Dawah guys over the years, and how unbelievable is this stuff given your experiences with them in the past?
I was so shocked what Mohammed Hijab did. I couldn't believe my eyes. I couldn't believe my internet. I couldn't believe my screen. I had to fast and fast and fast and ask Allah to guide me to find the truth. And then I tried to arrange to meet with Aisha to do this cursing prayer, but she's just hiding because, as you expressed, Mohammed Hijab is just like so awesome. Fat, big, part-time stripper will never do such a thing. Never do such a thing. But what happens when you are like very famous and so attention seeker? People come after you, David. I am sure you experienced those things as well. People come after you. On a serious note, when I first heard, I was a little bit shocked in a sense they wouldn't do this to their own because they've been doing these grooming things in UK for decades now. I was like, no, he wouldn't do this to his Muslim sister. But as you hear more and then Mohammed Hijab becomes so camera shy, he puts AI clips, AI video stuff. It just makes you think, yes, they do this to their own. Therefore, rest needs to be very much afraid what they will do to rest with a little bit power. I am sad in a sense that woman has been harmed and now they are going after her, but not surprised. I don't expect much from Islam, so I am here. I guess I just love exposing what Islam does to Muslims and the world, so I'm just hanging out in this live stream today.
While along those lines, we have here from Dragon, you guys got nothing else except criticism of Islam.
What can we do if Islam is screaming out and then saying, criticize me, I am one of the most awful religion in the world? You just simply say, okay, give me some materials, I'll do so. We do already enough materials, but when Muslims kind of contribute into it, it just becomes funny.
Yeah, and I'll just say, Dragon, Islam was talking about us way before we ever said one word about Islam. So long before any of us here were born, Islam was calling Jews and Christians the worst of creatures, ordering you to violently subjugate Jews and Christians, saying don't be friends with Jews and Christians. And as for Hatun is an ex-Muslim. And so long before Hatun was born, long before Hatun became an ex-Muslim, Muhammad ordered his followers to execute ex-Muslims. And not only ex-Muslims, but also critics of Islam. So everyone here that you see on the screen is under a death sentence for criticizing Islam. Not only that, Thaddeus is on the screen. He actually got fired from his job simply for being bothered by things like killing apostates and so on. He was actually on orders of CARE and with the collaboration of CARE and the Columbus Dispatch actually got him fired from his job that he worked in for years. But what message does that send him? Hey, here's a topic you're not allowed to address. You're not allowed to criticize this. No matter how evil and sick and disgusting it is, no matter how many terrorist attacks there are, no matter how many people are killed, you have to keep your mouth shut. That doesn't make us want to keep our mouths shut. That makes us want to talk about it more. So yeah, if you're upset that people are criticizing Islam, Yeah, maybe convince people in your own religion not to launch these terrorist attacks, not to do the things they've been doing to 12-year-old girls in the UK, and not to constantly threaten us with death and dismemberment and so on. What are your thoughts on this one, Thaddeus?
Yeah, I forgot to answer your first question as to why I'm interested in this story, but it's directly related to what you're just talking about. That see people who are vulnerable, see people who are taken advantage of, and see that no one is willing to speak up against this. You see a handful of Christians and a couple atheists talking about this story, but you don't really see any Muslims, right, wanting to come out and condemn hijab or support Aisha or anything. They just want to sweep it under the rug and pretend it never happened. So when I see someone who is victimized by injustice, it's my duty and my honor to stand up and fight for them. I was indeed fired from my job for speaking against Islam, and I have no regrets about that because I do not fear those who can take away my job. I only fear he who can put my body in hell. So I'm fighting for the Lord's work.
And kind of ironically, because I'm sitting here thinking, I can't keep up with this stuff, but you've been keeping up with this stuff. And it's sort of like that where a person has to just be following everything because individuals can't follow everything on every subject. So it's like this guy has to follow this story. This guy has to deal with this issue. This guy has to deal with this issue. And then we've got it all covered. But ironically, getting you fired freed up your time to
Indeed.
to deal with this sort of thing.
So, exactly.
Thanks, Columbus Dispatch and Care. Thaddeus wouldn't be able to cover all this without your valuable help. What do we have here? I challenge you to Mubahala. I accept your Mubahala challenge. By the way, guys, the like button is now called the Mubahala button. Everyone be sure to 434 that Mubahala button. Hey, wait, no, someone posted that. Hang on, let's see. I challenge anyone that breathes to Mubahala. Also 434, that like button. Okay, it's the Mubahala button. That's pretty funny. I challenge everyone who breathes to Mubahala. Oh boy, these are fun times. Let's take these first couple super chats, and then we'll go ahead and read Aisha's response. We'll read Aisha's response to the main questions, and then get our thoughts on that, and then we'll jump into some video clips. It'll be extremely based. Let's see. Hatun, Thaddeus, so good to see you. Oh, hi, David. Yeah, I know. Prefer Momin over Kafir always. D Wood, title is reference why Momins will support Mojab. Mohammed Hijab and Ali Dawah busted for hotel wife cover-up. Yeah, it's actually good in Islam. I'm coming up, so you better get this Mubahala started. You know, it's funny how it is funny how something I guess it's similar to a meme as far as the original meaning when people started using memes was something that just gets picked up quickly and spreads rapidly. But a couple of years ago, it was leather straps of the anus. Muhammad saying that the eyes are the leather straps of the anus, and then everyone started talking about that for a while, and now it's Mubahala. And then we have from Rick Newton, Mutabahala. I challenge you to Mutabahala. when we do Muta. I don't even know what a Mutabahala would be, but did Thaddeus call Wingalings crackhead clowns? Why aren't you guys condemning him? Why would you call followers of Mike Winger crackhead clown individuals?
I reserve that comment for Muslim YouTubers.
Okay. Wow. So not even the Wingalings. I'll say it. Wingalings are crackhead clown individuals. Fire me, Columbus Dispatch. Oh, you don't care because I didn't say it about Muslims. He did. Joe Rose says, Hatun, we love you, sister.
Thank you.
Solaria says, oh, hey, I'm just 11 minutes late this time. Shocking, given how early it is. Half tempted to watch later and edit what I just recorded, though. You could do that as well. This is extremely shameful behavior for any leader. Yes, it is, Isa. Momo from long ago, the madman of Mecca. Kad's gigolo, Momo, he humped like, what is this? A bad bearded bandit, the prophet, pedo, Momo, Allah, ego, the desert dwelling dreamer of Dante's Inferno. That's actually pretty Actually got some dope lines in there. Might have to wrap that later. Momo is king of woke. Be proud of that. Yes, indeed. What do we have? Guys, let's pack in. Some random guy in chat said, all you do is criticize Islam. Let's pack it in. Yeah. Oh, no. He said, all we do is criticize Islam. I guess we have to change everything we're doing. Oh, my goodness. Solaria says 9:20 to 27. That's right before 28 to 33. So that's the passage about violently subjugating Jews and Christians. It says Allah threatens Muslims' pagan families. Yeah, wasn't it? I think Abu Bakr said he would have killed his own son if he'd been on the wrong side. Anyway, wild stuff. Always love to see my favorite Islamophobes expose the religion of lies and violence. Hey, we can't figure out what you guys want. Some of you are complaining that all we do is blast away at Islam, and others are saying, prefer moment over kafir always. D. Wood, are you aware of al-wala al-bara concept? Yeah. Pretty common. All right, everyone. Let's go ahead and let's check out. Let me pull this up. Let me pull this up here. This is Aishas QA. So Aisha is Muhammad's ex-wife. Not a normal wife. She had apparently agreed to be a secret second wife. Mohammed Hijab has defended the concept of secret second wives. But let's go ahead and read through this. So this is from Behind Veils, and they gave her answers to some of the objections that are popping up. And guys, I'll just read, and you guys have any thoughts on it, jump in with any thoughts you have, and then we'll go on to the next. But it's not a lot. I think it's just a few of the main issues. So we'll just go and read these, just so we know what we're talking about in these as we're watching these videos. Sister Aisha answers common questions. Why did I come out publicly? So that would be a main one. Why don't you just keep this to yourself, or why don't you keep this behind the scenes or something like this? And she says, there were both moral and spiritual reasons. Morally, I believe if I had spoken earlier, many harmful McDonald's marriages could have been prevented. He has been misrepresenting. A little side note: who wants to tell everyone what the McDonald's marriages were?
Is that the 60-second McDonald's marriages?
Yeah, what's going on with that? Because Hatun, it's like people in the West do not have no concept of this. Like marriage is like a big step, and like we sit here and think like how it's sad that people's view of marriage has diminished over the years to not take it as seriously, but anyone in the West takes it massively more seriously than these guys. Like even with atheists take marriage significantly more serious than these guys do. How's this work in Islam?
So man and woman are meeting for chit chat, and then suddenly they decide they've got this love at the first sight thing, and then they need to deal with it because it's like so urgent, and then they need to get in touch with someone who can do their nikah. And then before the nikah, you need someone to pay the woman, as well as you need someone who is the guardian of the woman. So once those things are being arranged, it can be through WhatsApp message, marriage takes place. So that's how it works. But in reality, man and woman, Muslim man and Muslim woman, have very lustful desires towards one another. And they don't want to do anything which seems as haram. So they want to do under the label of halal, which means like it's permissible in Islam. So I'm going to get married with you for a short time. And your mahar, the money I'm going to give you for the marriage, is going to be McDonald's dinner or whatever people eat in McDonald's. Those kind of things. So
Happy Meal.
They get in touch with Mohammed Hijab. Mohammed Hijab is so busy. Within a minute, he marries them off on WhatsApp, and then man gets the McDonald's dinner or lunch to lady, and then they go and then have sex, and then once it's done, okay, I divorce you, move on.
And so, everyone, that's what's going on when she's talking about these McDonald's marriages. You actually have Mohammed Hijab talking about these these little marriages that he's performing behind the scenes. And so, someone can, it's basically as Hatun was talking about, and this is the idea in Islam. It's, hey, I want to have sex with this woman, but I don't want to do something haram, so we'll just get married, even though I know I'm going to divorce her, right after we're done. And you're supposed to give her something. And so what? Well, just to buy her a Happy Meal at McDonald's. Buy her a Happy Meal at McDonald's, and then marry her, have sex with her, and divorce her. And so, I mean, this is like, it's like prostitution, but you're giving her a Happy Meal. Saying, here's a Happy Meal. So anyway, that's what Aisha is referring to here. She knows that this has been, she knows that this happens, and that Mohammed Hijab is performing these McDonald's marriages. And she says, I have to tell people what's going on so they know that we're actually doing this stuff and that he's actually doing it. And by speaking out, I can actually help prevent some stuff. Oh, go ahead.
So it's such a strange, because as I am talking about it, you are talking about it, I can feel like your voice is a little bit uncomfortable. Yet Mohammed Hijab thinks this is something he needs to be proud of it. And then he's got a video on his Facebook page. He's simply making fun of it and then telling people this is what's happening.
Yeah, he was laughing about it while talking about doing these McDonald's marriages.
It's like sick.
Yeah, very, very sick stuff. And so Aisha here apparently thinks that this is un-Islamic, even though, Muhammad was allowing his followers to practice straight up mutta, like just, hey, go hire a prostitute and marry her for 20 minutes while you have sex with her and so on. And then you're divorced right afterwards. But according to Sunni sources, some of the hadith say that Muhammad eventually forbade it. So he eventually said, don't do this anymore. Other hadiths say that, no, it wasn't Muhammad who forbade the practice. It was a later Muslim caliph and so on. So it's basically, if you want to practice mutta, you can just say, oh, I believe this hadith and not those other hadiths. But typically they won't call it mutta marriage, temporary marriage. They'll just do it anyway. So they won't set it up beforehand as a mutta marriage. So they won't say, hey, I'm only going to marry you for 20 minutes. That would be mutta. They'll just marry some girl, understanding that they're just going to divorce them when they're through with them. And they'll call this misyar marriage. The misyar is saying things like, you're going to be a secret second wife, so you're not going to be a public wife. You're just going to be my hotel wife. You don't have all the normal rights and privileges, that kind of thing. So that's kind of their version of it. But anyway, Aisha doesn't think that this is an accurate reflection of Islam. I think it is. But she says, he has been misrepresenting our sacred text and misleading the youth. Well, he's misleading the youth, but mainly by teaching them Islam. Spiritually, our religion has always been protected when individuals in positions of trust were exposed after becoming a source of misguidance. So she's saying she's actually protecting the religion by exposing individuals in positions of trust. No, Aisha, I think you're actually exposing the religion by showing that most of the people in your religion will take his side and not your side, not the side of the victim. So I agree you have to expose him, but it's the religion you're exposing. So she says, why did I speak to people who are enemies of Islam? Hey, Thaddeus, you were one of two people who messaged me on the same day and say, hey, did she message you a while back? And I was not familiar with that at all, but two separate people messaged me on the same day. So I was like, oh, someone must have said something about this. But I had no clue what it was talking about. And I forget if it was you or the other person who messaged me, but shared links to where she had apparently messaged me on Twitter. And I didn't see it because I get hundreds of messages on Twitter every day. So I never saw it. And if I had seen, hey, I need your help. I have information on Mohammed Hijab and I'm a Muslim and I want you to help me expose him. I would not have taken that seriously. I would have been like, this is one of the Dawah guys trying to set me up. They've got some scheme here. I would not have trusted that sort of thing. So I wouldn't have paid attention to it even if I had seen it, but in fact, I just never had seen it. But why don't, Thaddeus, what was this about? And then we'll read her response.
Yeah, so she tweeted at you and at Abdullah Samir. Those are the only two individuals that she publicly tweeted at. She might have tried to contact someone else privately, I don't know. But as far as publicly, those are the only two. Just a variety of messages. Like some of them just said, I want to talk to you. I have some information about Islam that you'll find useful. Which could have been anything, right? That could have been trying to do Dawah. But then some other one, she did say that she was a victim of sexual abuse and she was desperately looking for help, that she was losing her faith in Islam and was reaching out in desperation. I imagine neither of you ever saw either of those messages. Obviously, you just said that you didn't. But because she had made those tweets in Ali Dawah's video, defending hijab, she's like, look, she's working with the enemies of Islam. And of course, she wasn't working with anyone. She tried to contact, her words, 100 Muslim scholars to get them to intervene, and none of them would. So in desperation, she tried to reach out to people who weren't Muslims. Seems reasonable to me.
So she tried to deal with this behind the scenes, and when she couldn't get any help from the Muslim community, she couldn't get any support, any help in exposing Mohammed Hijab from the sheikhs and so on, and they all take his side, then she decides, okay, everyone in Islam is willing to cover for Mohammed Hijab, so I need to go outside of Islam if I want to help expose this. So let me find some people who don't like Mohammed Hijab. And since she did that, since she contacted people outside of Islam, she is being attacked. She cannot be a serious Muslim because she's contacting the Islamophobes. And so let's go ahead and see her response here. She says, why did I speak to people who are enemies of Islam? So that means David Wood and Abdullah Samir. At that time, I was broken. I felt violated. I felt cheated. I felt used. After over a year and a half of seeking help, so she tried for a year and a half to get Muslim leaders to help her, I felt every door shut in my face. I was overwhelmed and needed to scream the truth. For me, accountability was the only way to hold on to my faith. So she's saying, I can't even hold on to my faith knowing that the entire community is siding with this guy and he can't be called out. So I have to do what I have to do. She said, I called them shaitan, and since then I had a tremendous amount of regret for ever reaching out to them. I have since repented to Allah. I advise every Muslim to stay away from such paths, no matter how desperate things may feel. So even if every door in the Ummah is slammed in your face and everyone agrees we will protect the abusers and not the victims, even under such circumstances, do not go to people like David Wood and Abdullah Samir. And Aisha, I would agree with you that from an Islamic perspective, yep, you should not be going with us. However, that is merely more evidence that shows you how massively dysfunctional your religion is.
One of the things was interesting. So Ali Dawah shared a screenshot that she's dropping you a message to say she wants to share some information about Islam. And Ali Dawah put that as she's shaking hands with Satan, and that's you. So with all that pressure, of course she's gonna say like, yeah, I am sorry I have done that, because what seems to be happened is, as she's reaching out to you, that's like few months after Ali Dawah interviewed her and then delete that interview. So she's reaching out to you and a couple of others. And Ali Dawah expressing that as she's shaking hands with the Satan. From that, seems Ali Dawah is being, or Mohammed Hijab, one of them, are keeping track on where she's putting comment, which live streams she's attending, because they published a couple of videos where she's in a Muslim YouTube channel asking question about preservation of the Quran, where she's kind of questioning Islam. When your brothers and sisters don't help you, your sheikhs don't help you, everyone shuts the door to you, you are under serious pressure. You want someone to help. Mm-hmm. And you reach to someone and, well, you ignored her, David. You missed all the gossips. We could have all these gossips 6 months ago, but no. Yeah. So I think the reason she's stating don't do this, because too much pressure from Muslims. They hate you or AP so much, they don't want to help their brothers and sisters because they got hold on to you.
Yeah, and it's just amazing. I mean, think about it, guys. At the end of the day, this was Mohammed Hijab marrying a woman as a secret second, or we don't actually know, third, fourth wife. We don't know the number, but as a secret extra wife, and then he changed what he had told her. So he changed the agreement, and then when she gets upset and believes that he has ruined her life, she goes to other Muslims for help, and they all slam the door in her face.
Yeah.
And this causes her to doubt to the point where she was apparently doubting Islam, thinking, how can the truth produce this? Which is one of our common objections. How can this be the truth? It produces nothing but lies and perversion and so on. How can this be the truth from God? But she's apparently recognizing that and then having doubts about Islam. But then when someone actually comes to her aid, so behind veils, eventually you get to some Muslims who are willing to call these guys out. That actually makes her think, oh, maybe Islam doesn't just produce the kind of Dawah guys and their supporters. Maybe it does have some goodness. So maybe Islam is true and maybe her doubts are going away. And then, but then she's being attacked for ever contacting us. How can you be a serious Muslim when you contacted these guys? And how is all of this being used? To help Mohammed Hijab cover up what he did.
Yeah.
And so that's how it works. That's how it works, everyone. You can have guys lying to women, lying about what they've done and all this sort of thing. And then they'll use anything the woman has ever done to discredit her, even though it's the guy who is doing this stuff. And they'll use this. But anyway, so now we get into her actual claims, because some people are confused about what she's actually claiming here and where they're disagreeing. So here she's answering that. Did I agree to secrecy? Meaning, did she agree to be a secret second wife? Did she agree to keep their relationship a secret? She says, the only form of secrecy I accepted. So this would have been before they got married. This would have been, hey, if you're going to be my wife, we're going to keep this some level of a secret. And so what did she actually agree to? Guys, so that's important. If you're going to be a misyar wife, if you're renouncing some of your rights as a wife, you're supposed to agree on that beforehand, not have a guy tell you about this later, even though Muhammad did. But let's see. The only form of secrecy I accepted was not informing his other family, as that is what he demanded of me. So Mohammed Hijab said, hey, I have my family, I have my wife, and you have to keep your mouth shut or my wife will find out about it, and that will get me in trouble. He had promised a marital home, a shared life, and family involvement. What he asked for after the marriage was completely different and not what we originally discussed. So this is her claim. This is one of the big disputes. She's saying she agreed to be a secret second wife, but even though he's saying, hey, you have to keep this secret from my family, I'm going to provide for you. I'm going to have a home. I'm going to spend time with you. We are going to share lives together. I am going to be involved with your family. So that's what he agreed to beforehand. Then after they get married, and he has sex with her in the hotel, she says what he asked for after the marriage is completely different and not what we originally discussed. So after the marriage, it's I'm not going to provide a home. I'm not going to have a shared life. I'm not going to be involved with your family. We're not going to have kids. I'm only going to have sex with you in a hotel, and I'm not going to provide anything for you. That's what upset her. Go ahead.
Before she was about to become another wife. After the nikah, she become misyar wife. Mm-hmm. Because she's asked. There were communications where she was talking about like, oh, she will be like second or third because Mohammed Hijab apparently had another second wives before. As long as you don't tell my wife, everything will be okay. Because previous his ex-wife. Second wife told his wife, and then there was lots of tension. So he wants to not go through that again. Therefore, keep it secret from my wife, my first wife.
And let's see, as far as discretion, did I agree to discretion? Yes, but only regarding the number of nights we would spend together in our home. I did not agree to being hidden, erased, or treated like a secret. So just separate from his other family. but nothing beyond that. So apparently the only thing that she was agreeing to was secret from your family. And that's going to involve the number of nights they could spend together and things like that. He's like, oh, I have to be home, but, I'll tell her I'm at the mosque 2 nights a week and I'll come and bang you. Anyway. All right. Lovely religion. Lovely. Guys, keep in mind, this is not a random guy. This is Mohammed Hijab, and this is the guy who, these guys do shows on this. Guess what, ladies and gentlemen? A bunch of these guys are doing this stuff behind the scenes. Mohammed Hijab even said in his video with, a little video with Daniel Hakikachu, maybe we'll check it out since it's short, but he's sitting there, he was saying that he estimates about 85% of the Dawah guys are doing, polygamous marriages and so on. So this stuff is pretty common here. Was this a divorce? This was a kula, and it happened under very complex circumstances. The Islamic ruling on it was not immediately clear, which is why I involved the council for proper clarification and resolution. What about my father? My father gave his permission for the marriage. He later changed his mind, but by then it was already too late. I was excited to share the news, and Hijab told me to lie and say we didn't go ahead with it. So then he had her lying to her own father. And what about the dua? My recording was cropped, just like the audio of Brother Abu Aya. It came from a nearly hour-long conversation where I laid out every option. I was angry, emotional, and so what? Thaddeus, do you know what this is about? Is this about the audio clip that they used?
Yeah. So both in the not hijab, right? Because he pretended he didn't do it and put it on a third-party channel that he just created, and in Ali Dawah's video, they both play a short clip of her cursing Mohammed Hijab and cursing his children, and that's what she's talking about here. She's saying that it was a long conversation. She was upset. She was kind of coaxed into saying that by the person questioning her, and she regrets it. She wishes she hadn't said that. But here's the thing. I don't even think it's really all that improper, Islamically speaking, because to curse an individual, well, let's put it this way. The Prophet Muhammad, when he did Mubahala, he put his whole family under the curse. So to curse the family isn't really that unusual in this kind of thing in Islam anyway.
Okay, so this is them using a clip of her just being enraged and calling down a curse on Hijab's family or something like that. She says, I was angry, emotional, and thinking of my child and others affected by this twisted image of Islam. I regret my words, but no one should be eternally judged by a moment of intense anger. Yeah, it's just amazing. I mean, Hijab will sit there and post, hey, can I fuck on your wife's tit? Can I fuck on your wife's tit? And then he'll just say, oh, hey, I was on some medication, and so, don't hold that against me. And they'll go, oh, okay, all is forgiven. But they'll get this woman who's enraged in the moment, and they'll say, you see, this is why you can never trust her again. She's a complete liar. Wild stuff. She says, I regret my words, but no one should be eternally judged by a moment of intense anger. If Hijab's outbursts were clipped like mine, no one would appear more unstable than him. That's true. What about the comments on Palestine and so on?
Can I stop you for a second, David?
Sure.
You got a Muslim in
I know. I see it. We're getting to it.
Okay. All right. I just wanted to let you know.
All shall be revealed. All shall be revealed. What about comments on Palestine? What was the Mubahala really about? It wasn't blah, 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 blah. He refuses to deny the marriage and instead attacks my character. Mubahala is a right given to the oppressed, even when no direct evidence exists. Why are my emotions so intense? Was I pursuing him in those messages? Oh, okay, so yeah, they showed messages that made it sound like she was coming after him, and they represented her as a stalker. Can't trust her. She's just a crazy stalker. And she responds to that, was I pursuing him in those messages? No, he made the first move in 2019, so 6 years ago. So this is a long time ago. The messages they shared came after a call. I retracted what I said, acknowledging I was speaking emotionally. Ali trying to paint me as mentally unstable was beyond what I expected. If I'm a liar, show proof, but there is none, only deflection. Okay, here we go. What is your main case against Mohammed Hijab? I aim to prove he is unworthy of trust. Yeah, you'd think so. And I don't know why it would take this. I mean, we've seen this guy defending lying for years. You can lie in this case and you can lie there, and here's a good place to lie, and I lie and I lie and I lie. And everyone who's interacted with him is like, this guy's a complete liar. And yet they just mindlessly trust him. And so she's pointing out, look, this is how he treats a woman. So he's completely he demonstrated in his marriage that he's completely unworthy of trust because he lied to me, said this is how he's going to treat me, and then that's the opposite of how he treated me. And then when I try to bring it forward, he lies about me and tries to discredit me. So this is not someone anyone should be trusting. He's in it for himself. He's a narcissist. So she says, I aim to prove he is unworthy of trust. Here's why. Fabricated screenshots to mislead. Blackmailed the sheikh involved in our case. So apparently there's the sheikh that handled this situation, and this sheikh was blackmailed. Mocked marriage. Go ahead.
According to Behind Veils, the sheikh that performed the nikah was originally going to come forward. And after he'd talked to them, Mohammed Hijab found out and confronted him, and he ended up in the hospital. They said because of stress, but if you're going to the hospital because of stress, he did put some pretty severe threats in place, I would say.
Wild stuff. Let's see. Mocked marriage with the McDonald's nikah. Yeah, he did that. Distorted rulings by ignoring Maqasid al-Sharia. Not sure what Maqasid?
Yeah, I'm not sure what that refers to. But I mean, basically her point is that he convinced her that everything he did was Islamically valid, and she's now saying that's not the case.
Publicly spread these views still online. No scholars corrected him. Corrupted youth with twisted teachings. WhatsApp confessions confirmed by, is that the sheikh? I think that's the sheikh.
Yes.
Yeah. Refused mubahala, manipulated conversations with Abu Aya. Yeah, he did that. We've seen that. He made him sound like Abu Aya was threatening him and trying to corner him when actually, when we listened to the entire thing, this guy was trying to help him and be reasonable in like every single way. And then objectified women in marriage-related talks. Yeah, definitely did that. We've seen that before. And so, yeah, she sounds like she's saying, hey, he's just, he's corrupt. He's basically corrupting the youth, and he's basically the Andrew Tate of Islam, even though Andrew Tate is officially the Andrew Tate of Islam. But giving people a really, really messed up view of women and giving women no way out of this situation. So these guys, the Dawah guys, want to turn Muslim women into their basically prostitutes that they pass around and so on. And they want no accountability. And women are having a problem with this. Well, guess what, lady? That's Islam. So get out of the... It's so simple. If your religion teaches guys that this is how they're supposed to act, get out of the religion. Let's see. These aren't isolated. There's a pattern. I came forward out of obligation to protect the deen and preserve my Aqidah. Silence in the face of corruption is complicity. Silence in the face of corruption is complicity. Good point. Aisha, I just want to point out what's going on. The big picture of what's going on, Aisha, is that you were created in the image of God. And the world and its systems are here to degrade you. The teachings of the demonic world are here to degrade you as the image of God. And Islam is one massive system for degrading the image of God. And that's what it's here for. And you are experiencing that. And that should tell you. Yeah, every reason you're objecting is not really for the good of Islam. Islam is what puts you in this situation. You are somehow aware of the fact that you should not be treated like this and you should not be degraded in this way. Why? Why do you know that? You're not getting that from your religion. You just somehow know that you are made for something better than all of this. And somehow you're rushing to Islam and trying to defend Islam in all of this. Bad idea, bad idea. The entire system is here to degrade you. And your revulsion at it should lead you out of Islam, not to try and just expose some guy. In other words, expose the source. And that would be Muhammad, but also the demons that were influencing Muhammad. All right, so here we have, this is what you're talking about? Mohammed Afridi says, tell Hatun, DCCI Ministries, she will be delete. Her days numbered. Hatun, I've been requested by Mohammed Afridi to point out that you will be delete. Your days numbered.
It looks like he's reading the Daniel account and Psalms. What do you think? Just with bad spelling.
Yeah. Sorry, Mohammed. Hey, Mohammed Afridi. People are pointing out. Wait, he's spamming it over and over again. Okay. He's telling me to say that to you. I already said it to her, Mohammed Afridi. Now I'm going to go ahead. Now I'm going to block you in a second. But people are saying they're going to report him, and he's saying, I'm in Pakistan. What can you do to me? Yeah.
Even in England, police doesn't do anything. So in Pakistan, he is safe. No worries. Mohammed Afridi feels safe and comfortable. Police is not going to bother to come after you. They've got bigger things to do. They need to put people in jail simply shouting at the building or those kind of things. So you are safe. You are safe. But if I was you, I would be very much stressed. I am very much aware that my days are numbered, but I am clothed under the Jesus's righteousness. Versus your days look sleepy towards judgment, and it doesn't look very good for you. Since you are talking about my days are numbered, before those numbers finish, this is brand newly done book. Let me put it this way. I don't know which way. I'll put it this way. This is newly done. This is newly done just for certain Muslims in my area. I just wanted to take a piece for you.
So like this?
Gentle. Do it gentle, David.
Oh, okay.
You need to do it gentle. Don't hurt the feelings of the book. Gentle. Let it suffer slowly. And just act on it. So I think we will see you in front of Lord Jesus Christ on the day of judgment while I am dressed with righteousness. You will be just heading your way to Muhammad, next to Muhammad in hell. Send me your address. I'll post this to you, Muhammad. It will be helpful. You can try to figure out the holes and then read a little bit of it.
Yeah, so, hey, Mohammed Afridi, you're sitting here saying, you can't do anything to me. No, you're right. We can just do stuff to your book. But
and I don't want to do anything to him anyway. His book is more than enough.
Yeah, what makes you think we're worried about doing anything to you?
Get on the line. I've got lots of people before you. I need to do things.
Hey, Mohammed Afridi, you have any final message before I block you?
Don't block people. I don't block people.
Hey, Mohammed Afridi. Well, they become a distraction. Hey, Mohammed Afridi, post. I'll give you a chance to post one last message before I block you. Anything you want, man. Anything you want. Post it.
I'll send you some dates so that you don't get harmed from that Quran, David.
Yeah, Hatun is pointing out that according to Muhammad, if you eat 7 ajwa dates in the morning, you're protected from poison, therefore I'd be safe if I eat the ajwa dates. Time's running up, Mohammed Afridi. Come on, man, I'm almost done with the page. Dude, any more comments?
He's maybe trying to recover.
There we go. Hey, okay. We got the final comment from him, and I'll go ahead and delete. I'll go ahead and delete him after this. What a dumb comment, man. You had one shot. Your final response is y'all are cow reeds. What the heck is a cow reed? Is that a Pakistani thing? All right, now you're blocked because we don't have time for this. We're trying to expose your religion and what it causes, and you're sitting here just wasting everyone's time. Where'd that comment go? We'll put it up on the screen because I said I would. Where'd it go? Oh, here we go. Your is Khalid's. I might be upset if I knew what the heck that was. But I don't know. That might be Pakistani for you guys are the greatest things in the whole world. We don't know what that means, man.
We take it as a compliment.
Thank you. We'll assume that you mean you guys are extremely awesome and based and epic.
Yeah.
Thank you, Mohammed Afridi. But look, I mean, seriously, dude, look what you just caused. We weren't gonna. We're always ready. We're ready at the drop of a dime. But you saw. We were all just instantly ready. And Hatun picks up a Quran. I already had mine ready to go. You caused this, dude. You have to stand. Hatun pointed out what you're going to face at the judgment, but even if you ignore what Hatun says, you just go with your own belief. You have to stand. You believe that you have to stand before Allah and say, "Hey, Allah, I knew I was talking to people who have an extremely itchy trigger finger and will instantly start ripping the Quran, eating the Quran, all this stuff. And they do this, especially if I'm going to threaten someone like Hatun, in a heartbeat. And you knew that and you did it anyway. So you were basically saying, please, people, please desecrate my book. And Allah's going to want to know why you did that. Do you have a good answer? Oh, we can't hear you anymore. I blocked you.
You can't speak now.
All right. Fun times. Isn't it good to be in these times? Oh, boy. We are Khalids. Is it Khalids or Khalids? I don't know. Let's see. Let's take a couple super chats, then we'll jump into this video. Let's see. I'm going to Gabriel to Muhammad. Weird stuff. Dihal Kalbi. Hero of the Ummah. Mo Hijab is the Jim Baker of Dawah. Yeah, that's the thing. So we have examples of this. We have examples of Christian pastors and so on doing things. Guess what? People find out of it. Sometimes it will be like, oh, we don't believe you because this guy's so great or something like that. A church can respond like that. What? This guy's so great. There's nothing. Once they find out what has been done, they will expose that person. In Islam, here's the point, Judas. Is care not. I scare not. It seems like most of the Dawah guys are the Jim Bakers of Dawah. It's just standard. It's just standard over there.
I have seen where individuals are expelled from the church for the sin they committed, and if they didn't choose to repent until their repentance. I don't know if you remember, maybe a couple of years back, when the list came up from BBC where a bunch of very famous people would go to Amsterdam and have sex with the prostitutes over there. You did have, there were some name of some Muslim missionaries in that list. You would expect person to say like, I can't even leave the house now because now I am all over the news for what I have done. He just takes the platform and then he says, who do you think you are? This is all Islamic. I have done nothing wrong. Mm-hmm. It's like yep. The way we look at things are very different than the way Muslims are looking at this thing. Like that, someone sent, there was a comment on my channel. Person was saying like, this shows how Mohammed Hijab is man. I'm just like, is that how you look at it? Like having hotel sex wives shows someone how to be man? I don't know.
Yeah, that it's like Muhammad being covered in semen. Oh, he's a real man. He's covered in semen. Yeah. Like, what?
Yeah.
What is wrong with you guys? Actually, I wanted to look up real quick. I remember this. This was from years ago, but I heard from a former prostitute who was sharing. Oh no, I found it. Okay, this is to show you how long ago this was. This was on my blog. But I was still posting on the blog in 2014. So this is from 2014. And she posted a message talking about mutta. And because I was pointing out that Sunnis say that mutta is just a Shia practice. I point out, no, mutta is in Sunni sources. And yeah, you do have hadiths that say Muhammad forbade the practice. You have other hadiths that say it wasn't Muhammad who forbade the practice. It was a later caliph. And then basically they rewrote it into saying Muhammad did it just to make it sound more official. And so guess what? It's kind of, you can pick which Sahih hadith you want to go with and decide whether you want to practice it. But she said, mutta is 100% true. I know this for a fact, my very own self. Before I repented and gave my life to Jesus, I lived a very sinful life. I was an addict and sold myself to support my habit on the streets of Bankstown, Sydney, Australia. The majority of my clientele were Muslim men. The UN married ones would ask me to repeat some words in Arabic after them, which was basically me agreeing to marry them for however many minutes I agreed to give them in sexual service for the amount of money I agreed to charge them. They would even look at their watch for the exact time, even if we finished in 1 or 2 minutes, which was always the case. If the agreement was for 30 minutes, I would have to sit out the remainder of this marriage. Then once that 30 minutes was up, we were instantly divorced. I jump out the car. So this was in a car. I jump out the car and proceed to get married several more times that night to other Muslim men. Also, so many married with children. Muslim men make up the majority of clientele in the street sex work industry in the Bankstown area. I just wanted to confirm mutta is very real and still happening today in Western countries. I thank my Lord Jesus Christ for saving me and making me a new creation. Well, there you have a big distinguishing feature between Islam and Christianity.
Yeah.
By the way, it makes perfect sense for the left to mindlessly support Islam because both are religions of false victimhood and rabid suppression of the truth. Yeah, Thaddeus, I was thinking as we were responding to that death threat against Hatun, if CARE, the Council on American Islamic Relations, and Deny King, who was the reporter who exposed you for you were actually responding to something that Ali Dawah said, but they made it look like you're the most evil person in the world. If they were watching it, Deny King, the Columbus Dispatch, and CARE were watching what just happened, what do you think would bother them more? A person threatening Hatun with death or us responding by saying, hey, if you're going to threaten people with death, we know you have no concept of accountability or thinking that that's wrong to do in your religion. So all we can do is try to keep you from doing it by desecrating the Quran, which should make you stop. If you find out that your actions are leading to something negative against your religion in Islam, you're supposed to stop. So we have learned from the Quran itself that this is the way to get people to stop certain kinds of behavior. What would CARE and Deny King and the Columbus Dispatch be more upset about? This guy threatening Hatun with death or us trying to make him stop threatening Hatun with death by doing something that in his religion is supposed to make him stop? What's going to upset them most?
Oh, I mean, it's definitely going to be ripping but the Quran. That I can see the headline in the Columbus Dispatch now. Community Shelter Board employee rips up Quran. And his friend chews a page of the Quran, right? Mm-hmm. And that's what the headline would be. And then you'd read the article and be like, for no apparent reason, he just started ripping up a Quran. And we can't figure out why he did it. He must just be a giant Islamophobe. Look, we interviewed an expert who looked at none of the context, and they said this is a highly disturbing thing. And by the way, he also talked to Robert Spencer once, and as we all know, Robert Spencer is an international terrorist, so therefore he should be fired from his job. He is not fit. He can't be trusted to hold any job anywhere in the world. That's what the article would say.
Yeah, and matter of fact, if you hadn't been fired already, they would be using this right against you, like right now. They would be posting, as you pointed out, they would be posting an article saying this is why this man needs to be fired. When look at the big picture, guys. We're trying to stop these guys from threatening people with death, and we know we can't count on the Columbus Dispatch or CARE to do any of that stuff. You guys help them. And so Yeah, you're not allowed to respond. What's the takeaway message that we're supposed to take away from them? It's that we are not allowed to respond. If they're threatening people with death or even killing people, we're supposed to keep our mouths shut. No. Sorry. Columbus Dispatch. Sorry, but not sorry. Hail Ezra. Ezra commands thee to reap Islamic corruption of disbelief in Momo. Mary Harb looks different, though. Oh, hi, Thaddeus. On time today. I think this is Thaddeus and Mary Harb show. Momo Hijab is currently the leading Christian apologist. Lol. He got the Abduls questioning their position. Yeah, every time we post something about Mohammed Hijab now all I see is Mohammed Hijab got my friend to leave Islam. Mohammed Hijab convinced my friend to become a Christian. All this stuff, and I don't know how much of it to take seriously and how much of it is joking, but I assume some of it's pretty serious because people are seeing this stuff. This Mubahala gonna hit Mojab so hard he'll be rendered to grease. Islam exists and it's terrible. David DeVito Woods. So anyway, I started blasting. Yep, that's true. That's true. What if the man decides he doesn't want to divorce after dessert? Does a woman have a say? Also, thank you for your hard work. Much love. God bless you all. What if the man decides he doesn't want divorce after dessert? Does a woman have a say? What if a man decides he doesn't want divorce after? You do end up with some different situations depending on when the guy decides he doesn't want a divorce.
Yeah, so because Sunnis don't officially have muta, they don't have a pre-agreed time for the divorce, which is why on the article they asked whether there was a divorce or not, and then she used a technical term saying that she had initiated it. So in Sunni Islam, the woman has two options, right? She can take whatever terms that the man continues to give her, or she can demand full marital rights. So she can upgrade the marriage to a standard marriage, and then if he won't upgrade it to a standard marriage, then he has to divorce her.
You do end up with some creepy stuff if they're, divorced, and then he decides he wants her back. That then she has to go have sex with a different guy first.
Mohammed Hijab did offer that to Aisha though after she asked for divorce. And then he turned, after like divorce is being kind of done, he turned to her and then said, I can take you back if you are okay with the conditions. I won't compromise on the conditions, but I can take you back. And in one of the WhatsApp message, he said to her, I didn't find you attractive after I had sex with you. And then he was offering her to Sheikh Mohammed of Speaker's Corner for sex wife in a hotel.
Dawah was very strong, ladies and gentlemen. Dawah was very strong. Let's see. The lesser mutta equals hookup time. Alhamdulillah. That is indeed. Gotta love this religion. Keep in mind, guys, this stuff has been going on in Islam for 14 centuries. People are just finding out about it now. It's just being exposed now. All this messed up stuff is just standard in Islam. And now it's just coming out. These are good times. But the Ummah are... I don't know if you guys are familiar with that clip of... what's that guy's name? Osho? Something like that? Osho? It says democracy is the government of the people, by the people, for the people, but the people are retarded. This guy's saying it about the Ummah. Very rude and Islamophobic. I don't understand the marriage. I thought the Quran requires a man to treat all his wives equally and with fairness. No, it's not equally. It's not equally. That's an interpretation. And Muhammad definitely did not treat his wives equally, right? He even defended giving special privileges to different wives and so on. So it's not equally. With fairness, that would be true. But that's the idea. The idea is Muhammad was married to a woman named Sauda, as one of his wives. Eventually, he wanted to divorce her because she had gotten older and so on and had gained a ton of weight. And so he wanted to divorce her to make room for more other wives and so on. So when she found out that he wants to divorce her because she'd gotten older and had gained a bunch of weight, he told her, she went to him and said, hey, look, just don't divorce me, because no one was allowed to marry Muhammad's wives after him. And so to say he's basically going to kick her to the curb. And so she came to him and said, look, I will renounce some of my marital privileges. You no longer have to come and visit me. You don't have to spend time with me and so on. You don't have to do any of that. In fact, any time that you would have been required to spend with me to count as being fair, you can now add that to your time with Aisha. Just don't kick me out. Don't divorce me. Don't kick me out, and at least provide for my needs, because I am doomed. I am doomed if you divorce me. And Muhammad agreed to that. So what is that? That is misyar. That is her renouncing some of her rights as a wife. And the Quran praises her for that. That praises women for making that decision. So the concept of a misyar marriage is you can agree to that from the beginning. You can have your wife and she's officially your wife and so on. But you can also have a wife and you're saying, hey, here's what I'm agreeing to beforehand. Here's what we're agreeing to. You're going to be a secret. I'm not going to tell people about you. My other wife is not going to know about you. You can agree to these terms. She could even agree to be a hotel wife. She could agree to be a hotel wife. All you are is my wife in the hotel. She could agree to that. And guess what? As far as fairness, well, she agreed to it. So you're being fair. So that's the idea behind all this stuff. It's just really creepy. She is a homewrecker. Can't feel sorry for her either. Might just be me, though. Discussing from both sides. Not in Islam. You don't. If you're a second or third or fourth wife, you're not viewing yourself as a homewrecker. I mean, were Muhammad's extra wives homewreckers? They don't view it like that. You're viewing it like that from a non-Muslim perspective. From a Muslim perspective, she's a second or third or fourth wife. I agree. It's disgusting, though. Momo Aisha Ali, when does Diha enter the ring? No one knows. God bless you all. Thank you, Assyrian Calvinist. Let's see. That Mohammed Afridi guy should know that everyone's days are numbered, and one day when he is gone, he will be judged for his actions here on this earth. Gonna go buy a Quran for cat litter now. Dude, see what you caused. Mohammed Afridi, we know you're still watching. Look what you caused. This guy, Trey, wasn't going to use the Quran for cat litter. Now he is. All because of you, your decisions. Isn't that interesting? This dude, Mohammed Afridi, is doomed from a Christian perspective, and he's doomed from an Islamic perspective. Either way, he's doomed. Doomed's doomed. That's the Mohammed Afridi dilemma. Leaving the Mo cult isn't so easy, even in UK, where honoring unaliving is happening. It's such an evil religion, revoltingly repulsive. It's actually a huge problem that here's the thing. You know, we think, oh, you're in a Western nation, you're safe if you leave your religion or something like that. If you're in London, right? If you're a Muslim in London, you decide that this is false. What do you do? Like, what do you do? Just, oh, I don't believe in this religion anymore. You're surrounded. You are surrounded. Even if they don't kill you, your life is going to be pretty darn miserable. They're going to come at you really hard. And so and we think it's easy. We'll just move somewhere else. Really, where? Where? I mean, yeah, you can just pack your bags and move out to some rural area. This stuff is hard. That's not something easy. It's not something easy to do. And so Islam is trying to grow rapidly enough to where they can make it to where ex-Muslims are going to keep their mouths shut. Dubs to the dizzle, the hizzle, and the tizzle. Thaddeus, the tizzle. CC, you both will spend years in, what is CC? Capturing Christianity? Maybe months after marriage prep. Might enter the... Oh, it's just talking about how stuff is not taken seriously in Islam. Dawah just
I think it's probably Catholic Church.
Yeah.
CC.
Catholic Church. Yeah. So saying, hey, it's basically saying, hey, take this very seriously. And in Islam, say Shahada, buy Big Mac, Nika Mutta, but they civilize us. Yeah, that's the thing. You got all these videos. We're here to civilize them. And you're looking at what they're doing. My goodness, what a religion, man. Oh, it's a super sticker. Lemon character and baby lemon twirling around the air, hugging. Thank you. Let's see. Mohammed Afridi, how dare you, you kafir. I challenge you to muwingala. Look at what you made this better. Look at what you did. Muwingala. Imam McDonald's, Imam McDonald's officiate the marriage in the hotel. Yeah, we need Imam Ronald McDonald. We need a Ronald McDonald costume, and we have Imam Sheikh Ronald McDonald doing all the the Misyar marriages at the hotel. Oh boy. It's funny, we can laugh about this stuff, but this is like screwed up, messed up stuff. What's the joke about your religion, guys? That Ronald McDonald is your sheikh handling mutta parties at the hotel and showing up with the Happy Meals for the Mar. Austin says, y'all faster than a cowboy with a 6-shooter. Haha, you think the Islamists would learn at some point? That's true. Hatun, you are such an amazing warrior for Christ, a modern-day Deborah. May Christ Jesus use you in greater ways than you can imagine. Oh, hi, David.
Thank you.
Let's see. Listening to Quran ripping on premium headphones is worth it. Hatun is a master of Quran ripping. David is too brute. Yeah, we all have different styles, ladies and gentlemen. There are different styles of Quran desecration. Thaddeus,
I do halal.
yeah. Thaddeus, you literally lost your job for the sake of righteousness. You are a blessing of an example for Christians everywhere. Oh, hi, David.
Thank you.
Opens up stream. First thing I see is D. Wood eating the Quran like a giraffe. Others eating pages civilly. Is this what Islam does to your brain? Rips page from Robert's book. Ha, take that. Oh, yeah. We'll rip up Robert's Quran. Then we'll see who gets more offended, Robert or David. When I'm at work, I think I have the flu. I'm currently paying an illegal immigrant to do my job for $5 an hour. Is this a sin? Hey, you're asking the wrong one because one of my 2 family mottos. So we had 2 family mottos that we're raised on. One is, if you're going to walk on thin ice, you might as well dance. We're raised on that. If you're going to walk on thin ice, you might as well dance. And the other is, it ain't a crime if you don't get caught. Mm-hmm. We had another super sticker, hippo character. Thank you. And let's see. Are you guys going to cover the attacks in Pahalgam? That was the Filipino one, right? Oh, no. Yeah. Okay, that's the Kashmir. We covered that on. I wasn't sure whether there was a Filipino thing last night, but I was told that wasn't terrorism, where someone plowed into a crowd. But yeah, the Kashmir ones. Yeah, we covered that on This Week in Jihad. If there's more to cover, we can cover that in a live stream. But yeah, Robert and I talked about that Wednesday on This Week in Jihad. So that's on Robert's channel. Has anyone reported Mohammed Hijab to the police for trafficking and exploitation? He may have actually committed a crime. If he did, if anything he did is actually considered a crime, that would explain more of the Elon Musk thing when he was saying that Elon Musk is so scared of my powerful Dawah and for exposing his family that he's going to use his piles of wealth to frame me for a crime. That would mean that Mohammed Hijab actually thinks he could be charged with a crime over this stuff, and he was trying to cover ahead of time. And let's see here. McDonald's is the worst place to have a marriage. The shake machines are always broken. That's why we need some sort of yeah, guys, make it easier. Hey, we need to find someone who actually owns a McDonald's, and then to use it for a video where someone who walks up is like, I'll take what I was thinking. Yeah, I'll take a Happy Meal, 1 quickie mutta marriage, and chocolate shake. And we're ringing all that up, and then, yeah, Ronald McDonald, or you can have an actual shake machine. You go up to the shake machine. You got the double meaning of shake machine here, guys, because they have the actual like milkshake machine that has strawberry, vanilla, or chocolate. But yeah, you could have a different shake machine. You could have the shake machine, and then beside it is another shake machine. Anyone out there, manager of a McDonald's that we could use for a funny video? Because that would be pretty funny. We got to do something like that. And Aaron says, Matthew 28:18-20. Thanks. Awesome passage for everyone to read. Need to learn that. Thank you for all you guys do to expose the lies of false prophets. I look forward to meeting you all one glorious day. That's true. That's good. These are awesome times. These are awesome times, but there are awesome times way ahead. Do you have a good video refuting Joshua Little's dissertation on Aisha's age? I've said before, Steve, I'm actually fine with people taking Joshua Little's approach. So Joshua Little responds to Aisha's age He admits that there are literally hundreds of hadiths about Aisha's age. He thinks that his position is that the hadith, the entire system, is such a joke, that these hadiths are so massively unreliable that you can't trust them. And so you can't even trust what they say about Aisha's age. I pointed out, I'm fine. We could make this some sort of dilemma. And that's kind of what I did in my debate with Kenny Bomer, because we discussed this. But if you want to say that the hadith methodology is so ridiculously unreliable you can't believe it on basic information like this, I'm fine with that. Fine. Go that direction. Don't tell me we know anything about Muhammad, because we don't. Or you can say if the hadith methodology is even remotely reliable, one of the things we know best is that Muhammad had sex with a 9-year-old girl, because it's all over the sources. So that's on Muslims. If Muslims want to take that approach, fine. Just don't tell me we know anything about your prophet.
I think I need to find the clip, but I think I did watch a clip where a Muslim missionary was debunking Joshua Little on Aisha's age. That's always helpful. I think it was Farid, but I need to kind of remember who it was. So that's helpful video to use against him.
Yeah, and guys, keep in mind, an Orthodox Sunni Muslim who knows how important their hadith methodology is, they have to reject that. They have to condemn that. They're not going to take that seriously. Who would take Joshua Little's response seriously? Well, people who don't care much about the methodology and just want to avoid the objection.
Just real quick, David, I did a video with Mary that will be released shortly, proving from Islamic sources why you should trust that Aisha was a little girl.
And yeah, that's the idea. Given them,
yeah, I'm saying Joshua Little out the door.
Yeah, so I just want to point out, I'm totally fine if someone wants to say our sources are all garbage and we reject them. What you can't allow is the picking and choosing. You can't allow, I don't like the stuff about Muhammad and Aisha, so I'll throw all those hundreds of hadiths out, but I'll assume that the methodology is reliable over here. That's not a good methodology. And so they want to pick and choose. And besides all that, guys, it's kind of irrelevant to the main issue. Even if you wanted to throw out Muhammad and Aisha, you still got the Quran. The Quran allows sex with prepubescent girls. And so then they have to reinterpret that and throw 14 centuries of Muslim scholars under the bus who all agreed on what that's saying. Here we have Sheikh Crackhead Clown Ronald McDonald of Islam drive through for you. Sheikh Crackhead Clown Ronald McDonald of Islam. Guys, it's almost to the point where I want to take out a loan and buy my own McDonald's just to make some of these videos. I mean, can you imagine if we actually had one and people are like doing it drive-through style? Like, come on, I got my wife in the car. Come on, give me the Happy Meal. And then it's Sheikh Ronald McDonald at the window. We can make a ton of. Someone tell me if you own a McDonald's or you're a manager of a McDonald's or you work at a McDonald's, but you're good friends with the manager and he's a good Christian and he'd be happy with you. We will not let anyone know what actual McDonald's we are at. So this can never fall back on you. We'll show the drive-through window. We'll show all that stuff, but we won't show where we're actually at. So nothing can fall back on you. I will bring a film crew and we will make it pretty funny. David, the illegal immigrant, is now crashing out. He's trying to street fight me. Please help. Should I get Hijab to defend me? He's really good at MMA. He fought one giant fat dude and kicked him in the stomach, and the guy looked like he was ready to fall down, and the guy already fell down. No, Mohammed Hijab, there's that old video where like some 90-year-old guy just clocked him on the jaw, and Mohammed Hijab almost fell over from that old guy and had to be escorted out of the place because he's about to fall over and get curb stomped. See, Hatun, you're really brave. I wish I could defend Christ like you. God bless you all.
Thank you.
We're going to have to jump into these videos because people are posting posting super chats faster than I come. Okay, we're going to pause. Yeah, we're going to. we can basically just be going through super chats the entire time because people are posting them faster than we're covering them. All right, guys, we'll get back to the super chats here. Want to get to a video? Hey, Thaddeus. Mm-hmm. You're more familiar with this. I have kind of glanced at some of these things. Trying to think of where to start. We've got your two videos. We've got Ali Dawah's video warning people about the Dawah bros back in the day. And you said he's clearly talking about the Aisha thing, but this is before it was exposed. And we've got the Behind Veils video. Should we start with the Behind Veils video, part of that?
Yeah, I'd start with that one.
Okay, guys, we're going to start. This is Behind Veils. Now, I pulled this up and I kind of skimmed it. Looks like a good portion of the video is them responding. There's two things going on. So when Behind Veils helped Aisha bring this story to light, the Dawah guys started attacking, what's his name? Salman?
Salman, yes.
Salman, okay. Started attacking Salman for something that happened with his wife. I still don't even know because I don't really care. And just to be clear, I really don't care I don't care what these guys are doing behind the scenes and stuff with Mohammed Hijab and all this stuff. It is messed up if they're degrading women and so on, but my main concern here is this. My main reason for bringing this up is because I want people to understand in the Ummah, it doesn't matter. I want people to understand. I want this stuff exposed so they see how the Ummah reacts. So they see that the Ummah will strive to discredit the woman and attack the woman and not bring anyone to justice. I want people to understand that. That's the takeaway. I do not care. I don't really care if Mohammed Hijab is running around with all these different wives behind the scenes. And, it is a problem with what's happening with the women and that the women get conditioned into accepting this and so on. So I hope the women would stand up for themselves like Aisha did and so on. But I'm not interested in the drama and the gossip and stuff like that. I'm more concerned with going after Muhammad because Muhammad is the source of the problem. So less interested in the symptoms, more interested in the cause of the symptoms. But that's the point in all this. That's the real point. Look at what Muhammad's teachings are causing, because this should cause people to find this all revolting. So anyway, that's why I'm addressing that. So I'm not interested in what happened with Behind Veils and so on, and in some past wife or something like that. Even this is interesting. Why is Ali Dawah and the other people in the Dawah community going after Behind Veils? Because he's helping a woman defend herself. That is unacceptable. This is all a message for future people. If you are a woman who's been abused by the Dawah guys behind the scenes and you try to expose it, we will destroy your life. We've already destroyed your life with the relationship, but we will destroy your life even more if you try to draw attention to it. Two, if you are a man and you try to help one of these women expose the Dawah guys, we will destroy your life as well. We'll destroy your life as well. That's the message. That's why they're doing it. So I'm not interested in what they have to say about Behind Veils. You can watch it. You can watch the video if you want to see his response. But he also responds to Ali Dawah covering up evidence. Yeah. So I'll have to, I think this is in the second part of the video. So I'll have to actually skim through this to find this because I don't remember where stuff is. But let's watch the beginning here.
So just to be clear,
in the past week,
Ali Dawah put out two. Sorry,
okay,
to be clear, Ali Dawah put out two videos. The first one is like 44 minutes, something like that, where they make all kinds of accusations against Aisha. And then the second half, they talk about Salman. And then he put out a second video that's 22 minutes, which is supposedly just on his ex-wife, although mostly it turns out to just be reiterating the same information or non-information, really, that they had in the first video.
Okay. Oh, he says it right here. Ali Dawah released two videos. Okay. Let's see. Let me back this up slightly. We'll watch the beginning, and then I'll have to skim through it to find where he starts talking about Ali Dawah and the argument against Aisha. Let's see.
In the past week, Ali Dawah released two videos. Videos that are not only drenched in deceit, but serve only one purpose: character assassination.
So he's pointing out a pattern. He tried to character assassinate Aisha and tried to character assassinate Behind Veils here. Salman.
He's not acted as a man of Dawah. Instead, he has revealed his true form: a religious tabloid merchant.
What did you think Dawah is, dude? He's not a man of Dawah. He's a religious tabloid merchant. That's exactly what when someone says Dawah, I think religious tabloid merchants. It's like saying, he's not Santa Claus. He's this guy with a big white beard who goes around giving presents. Yeah, that's what Santa Claus is in people's minds, dude. Oh, boy.
If wrapped in Islam, Quran, and Sunnah, yet hollow of truth. I could spend hours unpacking the lies, the deflections, and his desperate ploys to steer attention away from the serious case against Mohammed Hijab.
That's what they do.
But I'll focus on just a few crucial points. To everyone watching, do not be deceived by theatrics, not the fiery speeches, not the performative outrage. Peel back the showmanship.
I have to say they have a problem because like Dawah is all showmanship. And so you've programmed people all their lives to love the showmanship and to just go with the showmanship and to never be concerned with actually getting to the truth or doing the slightest bit of research. So at this point, like completely seriously, Salman, I think that's impossible. Not for everyone, not for you, not for people who are watching you and so on. For the Dawah fans, telling them to look beyond the showmanship or to dig deeper, it's impossible for them. They've been conditioned all their lives. Just go with whoever's thumping his chest the loudest and putting on the best show. That's what they've been programmed to love and respect. And I have to say you are massively outgunned on this issue. Because if they know we have an entire community out there that respects nothing but chest thumping and running your mouth and putting on a big show, and you're coming calmly and just putting forward evidence, you've already lost with the Dawah community, not with others. You have other people who are actually paying attention, looking at the evidence and so on, and people who are going through the evidence like we are. But with the Dawah community, you've already lost that one. You are not winning the Dawah community on this, unless it's the Dawah community who are already against Mohammed Hijab and Ali Dawah. They might actually listen to what you're saying.
Question the motives. Use your God-given intellect, because the truth is not always loud. It is.
This guy's giving awesome advice, but it's use your God-given intellect, not the theatrics. Right. But then you're out of Islam, dude. Oh wow, I like this guy. It's just, it seems like you're in the wrong religion, dude.
You are just causing Muslims to go after him more and more the moment you say you like this guy.
This is my hero. This is my favorite YouTuber on the planet. He is the greatest of the great. But I mean, think about this. Can you imagine the Dawah guys? What? He's telling people to use their God-given intellect. How dare he? He's saying don't go with the showmanship. He's trying to destroy Islam. What is this religion?
Often buried beneath the noise. Now, I want to highlight something Ali Dawah said that I completely agree with.
Salman, who's an unqualified person, who has no Islamic credentials, who is somebody who is obsessively obsessed. He's made his whole dunya, his ex-wife dunya.
What the heck is that hat? Was he at a hunting lodge? Is he going hunting? Where is he? Looks like he's at a hunting lodge or something. Yeah, we line up our future mutawifs and they have to run out the house for us and we have to hunt them down.
When somebody like that who is raging in anger.
You are right, Ali. I am not qualified. I've never claimed credentials in Islam. I'm not a scholar nor a teacher in our deen. I never pretended to be. And let me reiterate to everyone watching, do not look to me for religious guidance.
I won't.
Go to the sincere scholars, not the storytellers, not the clout chasers, not the reactionary.
It's weird. Don't listen to me. Guess what? They weren't. They were listening to me more strong than you. You know strong, me strong. Ha ha! Little banger mutawais. That's who they listened to. Let me strip in front of the Chinese embassy and shake my pecs for the ummah.
YouTubers.
And we're the bad guys. We're the bad guys in all this.
Can you see how angry he is? The way he talks, like he's just so angry. Ali Dawah is correct to call him like this angry man.
Wow.
Playing sheikh in front of ring lights. But here's where your mirror cracks. What you see isn't my rage, Ali. It is yours. You are blinded by anger, and that rage has disoriented you from any Islamic ethics in your latest videos. All you've recycled is the same worn-out narrative posted by the Hijab, Suleiman, and Birjas camp. He's just a bitter ex. He's obsessed with dunya. He's trying to destroy the du'at. It's the same toxic Kool-Aid served to the blindly loyal, and you've chugged it down without question.
Okay, now he's going to get into responding to the accusations against him. But isn't it just interesting that, like, this guy's very well spoken. He's very clear. He's very calm. And we're sitting here looking, and we look at this and we would think, from our perspective, you would be winning. You would be winning this argument because we see the other guys and they're all like flipping out and losing their minds and screaming and thumping their chests and lying and so on. And you're just calmly presenting evidence, very well spoken, presenting your evidence. And we're sitting there looking at this and going, you've already lost with that community, with the Dawah community. You are getting crushed. You are getting crushed. Which should show you like how dysfunctional that community is. Anyway, let me fast forward through this.
Yeah, multiple times in Ollie's video, he's like, in this next clip, you're going to see his rage. And then he plays it in some speaking very calmly. And he's like, see, he's so angry. And he's like, Ollie's practically yelling into the microphone about how Salman is angry. It's just so ironic the way he's like, see, he's filled with rage. You can tell you can't trust him.
Let's see. Okay, so it seems like he is. Okay, so he is focusing a lot on this stuff. I'm not sure where to just start this. I'll just start it after this little part right here because we've already been through the Abu Aya material. So I'll go ahead and start it right here because. So guys, if you want the full discussion, we've already been through the Abu Aya stuff. I'll just put it in the kind of the middle of this. This is a separate video than the one we watched, but he'll be recapping some stuff we've already been through. And let's see where he goes with this.
Said, man, if he has that proof, we're not doing this. Khalas.
You stripped away context, hid compassion, twisted sincerity, and served it on a platter of slander. And now, the climax of your deception, the screenshot you proudly presented to your 1.3 million followers, applauding yourself while falsely accusing Sister Aisha of creating it.
Now, what we're going to do, brothers and sisters, is we're going to show you the first mistake, or the many mistakes they made, but one slip up of a message, a fake, photoshopped message that we have to give it to our brother Salman, Dunya's ex-husband, should we say, who came out and said that this was photoshopped. Just one thing you missed there, brother Salman, should I say Dunya's ex-husband. Yeah, that Photoshop message that you missed out on your video to inform your viewers was done by herself.
All right, everyone, let me back up slightly. Even though it's a long video, it's going to send me back, but I wanted to put that up here. We're actually going to cover this. This is what I was confused on. I think I've kind of gotten the gist since then, but one of the main accusations against her on X and so on, and apparently used by, I still haven't watched the full Ali Dawah video. So that's why I'm not completely clear on this. So it looks like, and Thaddeus has discussed this and gone into detail on this. To discredit her, they say, here we have a screenshot from her, from a deleted video of hers, where she clearly photoshopped this to make Mohammed Hijab look bad. And we can prove that it's photoshopped. Look at this. This isn't matching up. And then the response was, she didn't Photoshop that. You guys Photoshopped that to use it to discredit her among your stupid fans. And you guys are the ones who Photoshopped that. The source is a Muslim account of one of Ali Dawah's buddies, not Aisha. So what is used to discredit her is not something she actually posted. It's something you guys... So you guys fabricated evidence. You made up her making up something in order to discredit her. Is that correct? Is that correct? I got the gist right there, Thaddeus?
Yeah, that is definitely the gist here. Now, technically in Ali Dawah's video, they actually present it as evidence that you can't trust Salman because he passed off this screenshot. Except Ali's being very dishonest there. He's saying, you forgot to tell people who Photoshopped it, except he didn't, right? In the video where he showed it, but it's actually not even the same screenshot. Get to all that in a little bit. But in the video where he talked about a forged screenshot, because there's actually 2 forged screenshots, he says that it wasn't done by her, and then Ollie's like, you forgot to say that she did it when you showed this Photoshop screenshot.
Oh, so he said, so Salman said, hey, you guys photoshopped it. No, he just said, this is a Photoshop screenshot. And then Ali Dawah was like, oh, but you didn't point out that she was the one that photoshopped it. Yeah.
Yeah, that's what he's trying to say. Yeah.
And then
So it's circulated on
Salman's
Twitter.
responding, and you have a separate video on this, so we'll get a double dose of pointing this out.
Yeah, so he independently discovered the same thing because his evidence is different than the evidence I cite. So there's even more evidence than what he's going to cite. But basically, it circulated on Twitter first. Then Behind Veils did a video where they debunked it. Then Ali Dawah did a video where he said, "You forgot to say that Aisha made the screenshot." And then now he's responding to it a second time.
Isn't this an awesome and wholesome community?
It's interesting, like how they record their phone conversation, even to voicemail to another. Like Muslims are not even trusting one another, recording their text messages, recording their voice messages. How many times, like I spoke to police like over 100 times easily. I've got 1 or 2 recording that's it with the police.
Mm-hmm.
I don't have any recording with me to talking my brothers or sisters or screenshots of my messages to my brothers and sisters. Versus in Muslim community, they are recording one another because they don't trust what the other side is going to do about it. That's very, like, I don't know, not safe at all. Like they don't even feel safe from one another.
Yeah. So, guys, everyone getting that? That's a serious problem. I'm trying to think. I have a couple of times recorded a conversation. It was with people I knew I could not trust. It was people I regarded as completely evil. And I was like, this is a person who will take everything I said out of context or post a little clip and completely distort it. And therefore, I need to record the entire conversation. So if they try to do that, I can say, well, I've got the full recording here. That's only happened a couple times ever. It's never crossed my mind while I'm talking to my wife. I need to make sure I'm screenshotting everything, recording everything in case she uses it against me. Never crosses my mind. It would never cross my mind if I'm messaging Thaddeus or Hatun or AP or anyone else that I interact with. I better screenshot everything and record everything for when this inevitably, blows up in my face. And yet, as Hatun were just pointing out, you've got everyone on both sides. So everyone, Aisha and the Behind Veils side, and everyone on Mohammed Hijab and Ali Dawah's side, everything they're discussing ever, they have to understand. Oh, I need the screenshot. I need the screenshot. And you can see why Mohammed Hijab had his stuff set to delete after she's read it and so on. But she's showing this stuff later. Why? Because even back then, she's like, I need a record of this. I need a record of this. I may need a record of this. They don't trust. And then when they show up, they've got all this stuff recorded from her, and they've got screenshots of her, and not just of her, like every place that she is, everything she's posting on Twitter from way back in the day, not from now. Oh, it's blowing up in our faces. They're keeping records on her for years, just in cases. This is, what's that mean? I mean, none of these people trust each other, which means they all understand. What's that?
What happened to that, like, strong brotherhood, strong sisterhood in Islam? They don't trust one another. They are willing to kind of just like, I find this very dangerous. Like, you are living, sharing life with people under the same religion, and all you are doing is recording the voicemail you left to other person.
Here's the irony. When we say we don't trust these Dawah guys, we think they're a bunch of liars. And they're, how dare you, what a bunch of Islamophobes. Wait a minute, you guys don't trust each other. You guys know you're a bunch of liars. Your wives don't trust you. No one trusts you. Everyone knows you guys are the biggest bunch of liars the world has ever seen, including you. But when we say, it's the same thing with Islam. They can run their mouth, oh, Muhammad and Aisha, yes, he banged the 9-year-old. When we say it, shame on us for speaking the truth. Anyway, so the point is, when we say these guys are a bunch of liars, we know it, and they know it. And they know it so much that they don't even trust their fellow da'is. And they're constantly keeping tabs on their fellow da'is. What a sick cult, man. All right, so back to this video.
Done by herself. And here is the evidence.
Honey, what a colossal...
I had to look at the screen. I thought he said honey. And I was like, what? You just call Ali Dawah honey? I was like, I need to screenshot this. But no, it's Ali. Sorry. Honey, what a colossal disaster.
Disaster. Yes, it was photoshopped, but it wasn't the sister who did it. And today, I will prove forensically and irrefutably that your accusation was rooted in a huge lie. Exhibit A. The source of the so-called proof screenshot came from...
All right, guys, this is hard to see on the screen without... this is going to be hard, so we'll listen to it here. You can always go to the real video, and I'm looking at the matter of fact, looking at this, I can tell this is something they have on their website, because this is how the stuff is set up on their website. You can go to Behind Veils, the Behind Veils website, if you want to look close up at this. We'll just kind of take his word for the stuff he's saying and understand that we can look at it more closely later. Thaddeus, you've been through all this, so if there's anything, if you want to stop at any point and explain what's going on, just tell me where.
Yeah, I think they do a pretty good job of explaining it.
Okay.
One, who resurfaced out of nowhere just 4 days after our hijab expose.
Let me back that up, because they just gave the name of the guy.
Who resurfaced out of nowhere just 4 days.
Okay.
Huge lie. Exhibit A. The source of the so-called proof screenshot came from the account True Salafi 1, who resurfaced out of nowhere just 4 days after our hijab expose.
Okay, so this was an account that had become inactive and all of a sudden became active again after Behind Veils broke the story. And then all of a sudden this guy comes out of nowhere and I have the proof. Interesting.
Yeah, pretty much. And this account has 6 followers. So.
Oh, so it's like when Mohammed Hijab posts on his new channel that's supposedly someone else posting about all this stuff. Okay. All right. We got it. We got it, everyone.
This is an account that was inactive on X since February of 2023, a whole 2 years and 2 months. Exhibit B. The screenshot you showed includes black bezels, something no phone screenshot captures, meaning it was digitally staged. And this could not have been the sister because...
What the heck is a black bezel?
It just means that, see how it looks like a phone? If you take a screenshot from your phone, it only has the screen.
Oh, it just has a screenshot. So if I take a screenshot with my phone, it's just a picture of what's actually on the phone. They actually have a picture of the surrounding... Okay.
Screenshot clear.
So in other words, if this were Aisha posting a screenshot, it would not have this stuff on here. They're trying to make it specifically look... Okay, so it's already been doctored. All right.
Clearly shows that this was done within the YouTube app. Exhibit C. The annotation circles on 2 different screenshots are an exact pixel for pixel match when overlaid, one over the other. No smartphone does that. This is a classic Photoshop copy and paste. Exhibit D. One circle uses a brushstroke, the other a solid stroke, within the same screenshot. That's not how anyone annotates on a phone. It's entirely inconsistent and makes no logical sense.
So there he's pointing out, okay, so he's talking about the two red circles?
Yeah, so the top one is orange actually, and it kind of has like a texture to it, like it's supposed to look like paint or crown or whatever. And then the bottom one doesn't. It's completely smooth and it's red.
Okay, so basically there were multiple edits. So the claim is that they took an actual screenshot from something and then changed something, but then they added the circles, but they're just the idea is they're going through multiple edits of this thing all before something like that.
What he's suggesting, and I don't think this is a particularly important point, but what he's suggesting is that this was done in Photoshop, which it definitely was. That doesn't necessarily mean it's not a real screenshot, right? You could take a screenshot and then add the annotation. But what he's suggesting is that they didn't, on their phone, add the circles, is what he's saying.
Okay.
Especially considering the fact that both distinct screenshots have the exact same differences with respect to the annotation markings. Still not convinced? Let's, for argument's sake, ignore all the previous exhibits. The next one is the finality of proofs. I present to you Exhibit E, the nail in the coffin. Zoom into the screenshot. The annotation marking appears beneath, underneath, below the YouTube share icon.
So whatever that red circle is, you can see it is beneath the share icon. So the share icon would be in an actual YouTube, like a YouTube short or something like that.
Right.
So
what Ali Dawah or whoever made this is suggesting is that phrase, I'm not Shuli or Dershowitz, is an anachronism. It was before that, the time that Mohammed Hijab was in contact with Rabbi Shmuley and Alan Dershowitz. So she couldn't be talking about them because the date is before that. So they are circling that.
Hang on. So Mohammed Hijab debated Rabbi Shmuley and Alan Dershowitz last year, 2024. And so they're basically saying she shared this as evidence against Mohammed Hijab, and it's supposedly a discussion from years ago. But in this screenshot, she refers to Shuli and Dershowitz. And so it's clear that she made that up because that happened in 2024. So it must be made up. And then they're claiming that they screenshotted this. So this would be the takeaway, I guess. They're claiming that they simply screenshotted this from her video, video that she took down, and that they circled something as evidence. However, they screwed up because they're circling, which they supposedly just, took a screenshot of what she did and then circled it. The share button, the share graphic is above, it's over top of the red circling, which means they're the ones who posted this video and then screenshotted it after they added the edits, or after they did the circling. That's the claim?
Yeah, so in one way or another, whether they put that share thing there in Photoshop or they uploaded this fake screenshot they created to YouTube to put the overlay over the top of it, either way, the circle is below it. So the circle, they're saying this is a screenshot from her channel, and then they're circling her hair. But it would have to be in the screenshot, the circle would have to be. So she didn't circle her own hair and then upload a video of it to her YouTube channel.
So the bottom line is this screenshot is taken not from her. It can't be taken from her video because she's not circling her own. She's not circling her own evidence against her. They're adding the circle, but we know the screenshot is taken after that circle was added, and therefore it's not from her video. It's from something they posted, and so okay, all right. Let's see what he goes with this. See where he goes.
That is impossible unless it was composited in Photoshop. You cannot draw behind a UI element in a screenshot unless you were editing it in a graphics editor and did a sloppy job with layering the red annotation marking. For those of you watching, pull out your smartphone, go to a YouTube short, take a screenshot, and try annotating underneath any element within the screenshot. It simply is not possible.
Let me see what this says. The forensic analysis proves without a shadow of a doubt that the screenshots were not posted on YouTube by Sister Aisha and were photoshopped along with the annotations.
Yes.
The world would like...
basically...
Oh, go ahead.
Okay, sorry. Go ahead.
No, go ahead.
I was just going to say, basically, they made up the screenshot.
So,
and there's context to why they did that, but that's in my video, so we can see that later.
So there's basically things that they are accusing her of, which are correct as far as they're presenting accurate information. Namely, her saying, I viewed Mohammed Hijab like a god. There's that. She actually said that. There's her trying to contact us for help. That actually happened. But this didn't happen. They made this up about her to discredit her. And so someone behind the scenes actually spent time fabricating something that supposedly came from her and saying, look, she's lying. She photoshopped this, when they photoshopped it and then attributed it to her so that they could convince their dumb Dawah fans to discredit, to not believe anything she's saying. Look, I mean, just think about how screwed up this is. They're saying, look, she fabricated evidence against the person she's criticizing. Therefore, you should never trust anything she says. But they're the ones who fabricated this, which, if you took their criticism seriously, would mean we should never trust anyone on your side again, Ali Dawah. We should all say, oh, no, look, Ali Dawah's side is fabricating stuff. We can't trust him, because that's what you're saying about her. But you're the ones who are doing it. And what the amazing part is, I bet not one of Ali Dawah's fans is going to be even slightly bothered by this. They just don't care. Nothing dysfunctional here, ladies and gentlemen. It's perfectly functioning moral compass of this entire community. I guess it's just on the screen because I'm playing the video.
Yeah, I think that it's...
Okay, good. What's up?
I was going to say, I think that they leave that screen up for like 15 seconds or something like that. I think there might be some words after it, but I think that there's nothing important after it. So you could go to the next one if you want.
Let me just see what we've got.
To show you the first mistake, or the many mistakes I made, but one slip up of a message.
Why is he playing Ali Dawah all fast?
That we have to give it to our
That's not me. That's in the video, ladies and gentlemen.
brother, Salman, Dunya's ex-husband, should we say, who came out.
Okay, I don't know why they're doing this.
Message that you missed out on your video to inform your viewers.
Seems like he's just replaying Ali Dawah accusing her of making this up and saying you can't believe her when...
Yeah, and then I remember now. And then he slows it down at the end and makes him clap really slow. So
okay, let's see.
He's basically just thinks it's funny to do that, I think.
Okay, let's just get a couple words from him, what the takeaway is.
This is not just deception. It is intentional deception.
True.
This was a calculated, malicious attempt to frame Sister Aisha and completely discredit her. Honey, you owe Sister Aisha a public apology. And more than that, we demand full disclosure. Who gave you that screenshot? Where did it come from? Who edited the image? You say you weren't behind it? Then prove it. Show the receipts. Share the investigation. I gave you a starting point. True Salafi 1 on X. You're welcome. Let's see if you care enough about truth or only about saving face. This isn't a minor oversight. This is not a harmless mistake. This is fabricated evidence meant to deceive millions and destroy a woman's credibility. Now we're left asking, what else have you faked? Why are sound bites clipped from lengthy conversations? Why was the sister being recorded privately? And why were the recordings leaked selectively? Lastly,
notice which side just releases like entire conversations and which side like does selective little clip editing to completely give the opposite. I have to say, for everyone who's watching who isn't a brainwashed Dawah fan, anyone else looking at this is like, one side seems way more careful and honest than the other. The other seems like enraged and sloppy and deceptive. And it just happens to be the guys that we normally think of that way.
Turn to Ustad Ahmed Muhammad, the supposed advisor behind Ali's videos. The same person who, according to Ali Dawah, reviewed his interview with Sister Aisha and made the decision to not publish it. The same person who Sister Aisha called out of frustration and desperation and made the regrettable comments while being emotionally charged, all while being secretly recorded by this apparent Ustad.
Okay, so the idea here is the messages that they played were being recorded by this guy she's going to for help. And then they're being used against her. This is some sick stuff. You can't even ask someone for help because he's recording it and he's gonna use it against you. This is messed up. Huh?
I actually missed that the first time, but what he just said in not so clear words was that call where she's cursing Mohammed Hijab is calling Ali Dawah's spiritual advisor, who supposedly told him to can the video after he's made that decision. So she's calling him and expressing her frustration on him, saying that the interview she did is going to be trashed.
Huh. So she's specifically calling to say how enraged she is about this entire situation, how you guys are covering it up, and then he's recording it and then gives it to Ali Dawah to use against her. Gives that stuff to Ali Dawah and Mohammed Hijab to use against her. This is sick stuff, man. This is pure evil.
I would like to point out something also. So that very gentleman is also apparently involved with marriage counseling, all those kind of things. So if he's recording let's say his clients are calling him and complaining him about their marriages or their relationship, that's like simply against law. You like your client shares something with you, unless your client is going to commit suicide, you cannot share that information with anyone else, or your client is going to murder someone. You shouldn't be sharing. But like in this occasion, he simply recorded conversation with expecting like, oh yeah, I'm going to use this against her. That's just very, very wrong. Just wrong.
Yeah, guys, just imagine you're like in America or something like this, and you're having some marital problems, and you contact a marriage counselor or something like this. Hey, I'm not sure what to do. He's really messed up. Look at all this stuff he's doing. He lied about everything he was going to do and stuff. I'm really, really frustrated, and I tried to deal with it, but then they're attacking me. And then this marriage counselor records everything and hands it to your husband or ex-husband and all his friends to use against you, to take clips from. And you don't even have it. You don't have it because you weren't thinking that. They're recording that. And so they can chop it up and use against you. How do you go to that guy anymore? I mean, that's like going to, at this point, that's like going to Sheikh Uthman for marital counseling when all he's going to do is commit adultery. Yeah. He's going to that's like sending your wife to Sheikh Uthman for marital counseling when all he's going to do is bang her. And, well, this is normal Dawah at this point. Who's not doing this in the Dawah community? Anyway, let's see.
If you did, in fact, review and approve Adi's content, especially with this last video, please explain. How did you greenlight slanderous hypotheticals implying that I committed zina? Even if said hypothetically, that is a major sin and a grave offense.
Okay, so now he's getting back into the stuff with himself. Okay, maybe there's a couple more minutes, guys. You can check out this video on Behind Veils. Let's go on to Thaddeus's video about this, which I can just play. I can just play all the way through. And if you try to copyright strike me, Thaddeus, I will destroy your life. I will humiliate you. I'm recording all of this. I've recorded every conversation. I've screenshotted everything. All right, let's play Thaddeus's. It's around 5 minutes. We'll just go ahead and play Thaddeus's video.
Ali Dawah has forged a screenshot in a desperate attempt to save Mohammed Hijab from his own actions. And I've got 100% undeniable proof.
So all I'm going to say is die in your rage.
Hey, what's with the music, man? I don't know what copyrights people have.
It's public domain music.
Oh, okay.
In news that shocked absolutely nobody, Mohammed Hijab has been accused of emotionally and sexually abusing a woman, alias Aisha. As the heat turned up, Hijab has gone into hiding and has dispatched his favorite puppies to do his bidding. Enter Ali Dawah, the top dog of bootlickers, in a long, maundering, circumlocutory, disoriented, discombobulated, yet edited speech. He attempts to repeat the lines Hijab instructed him to say.
What?
For anyone who doesn't know, he put it on the screen, but apparently Mohammed Hijab's fans are especially impressed with using a thesaurus and just using a bunch of synonyms for something that they lose their mind. Oh my goodness, he used 5 words that mean the same thing. This is so amazing. He must speak the truth, even though look at what he's doing and he's constantly lying to us.
Plotting.
At the 26-minute mark, Ali brings up a screenshot, which he claims was featured on Behind Veils, the channel dropping piles of evidence against Hijab. He notes that Salman of Behind Veils says it was Photoshop, but claims he failed to say it came from Aisha. This is a double lie.
You are an outright liar.
You know what's fun about watching Thaddeus's videos with Thaddeus is he smiles and laughs at his own videos. Like he clearly enjoys watching his own videos. Like, that's a great point, Thaddeus. Oh wow, that's a great joke, Thaddeus. But he's Thaddeus. Isn't that weird? Anyway, It reminds me of I saw a Jack Black interview when he was talking about watching his own stuff, and he's like, it's kind of embarrassing because I crack up laughing watching my own stuff. But that's that reminds me of Thaddeus here.
One, it is not the same screenshot.
Well, number 2, you have psychological issues.
Number 2, Salman explicitly says it didn't come from her.
The problem? It never originated from Sister Aisha.
Its actual source is an otherwise unknown X account called True Salafi 1. As actual screenshots from Aisha were surfacing, this account of 6 followers tweeted proof that the screenshots were fake, showing one no one else had seen. A 2023 chat showing a profile photo from a December 2024 fight, True Salafi wrote. The X thread was filled with people laughing at the stupidity of not realizing profile pictures update. So a screenshot made today would have today's profile picture, and the proof failed.
The evidences does not match.
Fortunately.
What's that? Good.
So if you pause real quick, so they actually did a attempt at a fake screenshot to disprove her, and their evidence was that, oh, you see this screenshot from 2013 has a profile picture that Mohammed Hijab used years later. And then everyone's like, that's not evidence. Because you take a screenshot today, it's going to show the current profile picture. And so then they had to make a second fake screenshot.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so it would be similar. So it would be similar on like Twitter, that if I had screenshotted a tweet from Mohammed Hijab from 5 years ago, and I screenshotted it back then 5 years ago, it would have had his profile picture from then. But if I were to pull up a tweet now of Mohammed Hijab from 5 years ago and I screenshot it, it will have his current profile pic, even if it's from a tweet from 5 years ago, something along those lines. And so you're saying whatever.
Yes. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So that, and people were, the Muslims who were reading this were pointing that out, and they're like, this isn't actual proof of anything, because the videos that had now been pulled from our channel, but they were only posted within the last couple months. So if the screenshot was taken within the last couple months, then it would have the current profile picture. Second attempt was made, this time allegedly showing an anachronism in the conversation. Ali Dawah explains.
There is a voice note right underneath. Why don't you press play, bro?
Sorry, wrong clip. But you do have to admit that not being able to play a voice note on the screenshot is pretty strong proof it is a fake. If you have no idea how screenshots work.
Yeah, that flipping clown.
Let's try again.
This was on 10th August 2023. This happened before October the 7th, which meaning that Hijab did not know or did not have any communication with Shuli or Dershowitz.
You'd think someone of Ali's caliber would know it's Rabbi Shmuley and Alan Dershowitz, not Shuli and Dershowitz. But
hang on. Yeah, if they're everyone knows it's Rabbi Shmuley. But here's the thing. So hang on. The message, hang on. The message that is being used by Ali Dawah to show, this is all made up, calls him Shuli. But Ali Dawah also calls him Shuli? So Ali Dawah thinks he's Shuli. And then
Yes.
the fabricated message says Shuli.
yes.
I think I know who's behind the fake. Sorry. All right. Okay, let's go and play this.
And again, he is just reading the script he was told to say.
It made me embarrassed.
Looking closely, something is off about the phrase, I'm not Shuli or Dershowitz.
This was photoshopped.
But let me come back to that. There are several details that appear to be wrong. The subscribe button is missing next to the channel name. There's no top icon bar from the screenshotter, just Aisha. There's 2 bottom pull-up bars, and the YouTube overlay is missing the back button and the word shorts. These discrepancies might have explanations of varying plausibility. But what about the video title, which reads, He Threw Me Out? Ali Dawah's own video, proving it came from our channel, shows only one now deleted short. And it shows it titled as I trusted him and was told I shouldn't.
Wait, so his only evidence of a short on her channel had a different title from the one that they supposedly screenshotted here.
Yes.
Okay, all right.
That video incidentally shows the correct current shorts overlay.
Wait. So they did have they had in his proof, just trying to be clear on this to make sure I understand it. In his proof that she did have a short on her channel, he provides a screenshot of that. But that screenshot is completely correct as far as what should be on the screen if it's an authentic screenshot. But then he's using this other screenshot and he's acting like it's from that video, but stuff is all screwed up and is not what you would have in an actual screenshot.
Yep, that's correct. It's technically a screen recording. It's a video, but same idea.
All right.
And then there's the smoking gun. Take a look at that circle of Shuli or Dershowitz, supposedly added on top of a screenshot of Aisha's video to highlight her air.
Look closely, guys.
Well, it does highlight an air, all right. Somehow, the YouTube overlay is on top of the circle.
Which is actually very weird.
The only way this could happen is if the person who circled the suspicious words also added the YouTube overlay over the top of the words he first wrote himself.
Absolute crackhead.
So, Ali Dawah, what do you have to...
You learn nothing, man?
I mean, he called them clowns and he calls them crackheads in this video, so I had to use those clips. I mean, come on.
Okay.
Say about this proof.
It made me realize the mistake that I did.
I see. And what should your audience ask themselves?
If this has been forged, what else has been forged? You need to ask that question to yourself.
And what would you say about anyone who goes to hijab to learn about Islam?
You're going to go to the vilest of the vile and the most satanic of the satanic.
And what about you?
Hang on. Is he calling me the most satanic of the... That was for me, right? He's calling me the most satanic of the satanic? That's awesome, because, I mean... Fareed a couple of years ago called me the biggest Islamophobe on the planet. It's like, it's funny because I've said this before, I don't really think of myself as terribly important. It's just like, I got like my little, we've all got our little bit of stuff to do. So when they're like, this is the biggest Islamophobe in the world, it's like, whoa, you guys that scared of me? It's awesome stuff. This is good to know. I'm the most satanic of all the satanic. Thank you. Yeah, it's not the guys who are sitting there, banging their fellow Muslim ladies behind the scenes and lying to them and then destroying their lives and then silencing them and fabricating stuff against them to silence them after they try to come forward. And so you guys aren't the bad guys. It's the people who point out what you're doing that are always the bad guys. This is some sick, evil stuff, man. It's that opposite world, man. Up is down, down is up, good is bad, bad is good.
Will you stop kissing his butt for views?
No. I actually had to apologize to Hijab and say, bro, I'm sorry.
I see. Well, I suggest you repent of your evil and stop worshiping the devil for fame.
I worked the opposite way. Yeah, okay. So listen to me. I don't care.
For once, I think you're finally being honest.
Just one thing you missed there.
For more on Ali Dawah's insane attempt at a response, check out this live stream.
There's no live stream there, Thaddeus. What are you pointing at? What kind of crackhead clown individual just points to the cross and says it's a video? Wow, this is wild stuff. Okay, so you posted that like a week ago or something like that? Week ago, something?
Yeah, give or take, about a week ago.
Okay, but you also have a new video that just came out today.
Yes. Yeah, and I would suggest watching that next, and then we can watch Ali Dawah's video for context on what I'm saying.
Okay, what's your new video about?
My new video is in the process of preparing for a live stream on Ali Dawah's channel, seeing how this might affect his career. I pulled up a number of clips, and by coincidence, I found a video where he is describing a mystery woman. He's telling a story, but the woman he's describing is Aisha, and his attitude about her at that time was quite different than what he has his attitude now.
Ooh, mystery woman. Okay, so we're going to check that out, ladies and gentlemen. By the way, I have links to Thaddeus's videos in the description. So this is a long live stream, ladies and gentlemen. Most people are not going to watch a long live stream going through this stuff. Thaddeus's videos are short and to the point, and they are very shareable. So these would be a good time to share some of this stuff. And ladies and gentlemen, it's actually very important to share this. You have an organized community of Dawah guys who are doing everything they can to lie about her and discredit her in order to defend hijab so that he can continue on for many years to come, banging various hotel wives and so on, trying to cover this up, trying to warn all their hotel wives to keep their mouths shut. And be behind veils, doing a bang up job providing evidence and so on. They are horribly outmatched. If you're talking about YouTube, they are horribly outmatched by the Dawah guys. And so do what you can. Do what you can. One thing to do is to share videos like the ones Thaddeus is pointing out. Let's take a couple super chats, and then we'll jump into Thaddeus' next video. And then we'll hear from Ali Dawah himself. Praise Yahweh. No comment there, though. Wanted to share a quick funny story. Once during small group at my church, we had a debate on whether counting cards during poker counts as a sin because technically it's not gambling. What's your take? Yeah, I mean, counting cards would be part of the game, right? I mean, everyone does it to some extent. Like, hey, I haven't seen an ace come up in quite a while, so an ace is probably coming up soon, and so on. You have the official card counters, and some of them will work as like a team, and so on. I'm not a good one to ask about any of that stuff. I basically watch some of that stuff on TV occasionally. And I played a lot of cards in jail at the beginning when there was nothing else to do. We just played poker all the time.
Interestingly, there was a professional card counting organization run through a church. Basically, they had the philosophy that they were taking money from the
casinos,
the questionable morality of the casinos, and they was going to people whose families were good Christians, and they didn't see anything wrong with it. A couple guys started it at their church, and then they trained a bunch of other people at the church on how to do it. And they took the casinos for like $100,000 a year for several years.
That's kind of weird. The idea behind card counting, you can have some people with autistic savant individuals like in Rain Man and stuff who can count massive numbers of cards and so on. Because most of the casinos will use multiple decks of cards altogether. And so the idea is very rare for someone to be able to count a ton of cards, but you can do it as kind of a team, right? If you have multiple people and they're focusing on certain things with the card counting, as a team, you can kind of count the cards. The idea is the casinos always have an advantage over you. They always have an advantage in some way. And so they're trying to flip the advantage in the other direction. But yeah, wouldn't be something I'd be terribly interested in.
Yeah, I wouldn't recommend it.
Yeah, I wouldn't recommend it. Yeah. Why are there so many chocolate shakes with vanilla wives? What's wrong with you, man? Afridi, I challenge you to mubahala. Yeah, notice Mohammed Fridi, quick to toss out death threats, but not quick to enter into mubahala. McDonald's won't allow it for brand protection reasons. We didn't say anything about McDonald's allowing it. No one said one word about McDonald's allowing it. How do parents see their daughters getting involved in McMutta? Screenshot. McMutta. McMutta marriages. How do parents see their daughters getting involved in McMutta marriages like this? What argument could they use against it, especially Shias? Generally, parents would not like this. But what you would say as a parent, you guys can give your thought. What you would say as a parent is something along the lines of, yeah, it's not ideal, not good, and not something I want for my daughter, but it is allowed in Islam. It's like beating a woman. It's allowed in Islam. It's allowed in the Quran. Do you want someone beating your daughter? No. And it's just like polygamy. You could say as a Muslim, yeah, polygamy is allowed in this religion, but I don't want my daughter in a polygamous marriage. And you certainly wouldn't want your daughter being basically, relegated to the level of a prostitute. So it's a situation where you say, here are things allowed in my religion that are allowed, but are not ideal, and I don't want them for my daughter. But those are the kinds of things that should wake you up as a parent. Why does my religion say this is fine to treat my daughter this way when I know that it's messed up and I would not want this for her? In other words, why is Allah okay with this and I'm not?
I think there would be different view regarding whether your daughter is being divorced or has been married before or not. If your daughter is was single, then you want first marriage to be normal marriage. But if your daughter has already been married off or divorced or not virgin anymore, then your view changes because that's becomes different type of income, and the way you see your daughter is different. Like there was a documentary done in Iraq
I remember that.
about her, the way, like, if the girl is virgin, there is not much to say about it. There is so much to say about it, and then how much money you can get. But if the girl is not virgin, she's already been seen as like, oh, she already dirty, she's already been divorced anyway, let's kind of find ways for her to support herself. I think in England, now there are ways, even if the virgin is involved at mainly at university stuff, there are like medical ways you can get that fixed if she's gonna get married in the future. But ideally, parents probably would choose in a way whether daughter is virgin or not. And some parents don't even know what the children are doing, so you can go and simply get certain things under NHS, and no one knows.
When you used to have debates with Nabil, did you read Mirza Ghulam Ahmed's books? I read his book, Jesus in India, and thought it was complete nonsense. I know we read some Ahmadi stuff, and I read some of Mirza Ghulam Ahmed's stuff, but in my mind now, remembering, because this is like over 20 years ago at this point, I don't remember, when I'm thinking about how stupid stuff was, I don't remember if it was, I'm thinking of the stuff from Mirza Ghulam Ahmed or from one of his successors, because they also wrote stuff, and so it's all jumbled together in my mind. But it was some of the most idiotic stuff I've ever seen in my life. Like one we read, and it was like, I just read like 10 pages, and it was all bragging about how brilliant the arguments were and not even giving the arguments yet. And it's like, and no one can refute this, and these arguments are so powerful that people tremble before them. And it's like page after page after page about how brilliant the arguments are. And I finally get to the arguments, and it's like the stupidest stuff I've ever heard in my life. And it was like, if God were a trinity and not one, then planets would be shaped like triangles and not like spheres, because the sphere is because God is one. If God were a trinity, he would make planets in the shape of triangles. And these are these powerful arguments that no one can respond to. It's like, this is so insanely stupid. But anyway, so yeah, we did go through some Ahmadi stuff. We did read some, I did read some Mirza Ghulam Ahmed stuff, but I don't remember in my mind which was which, as far as Mirza or his successors. 1,400 years later, Muhammad is still abusing Aisha. Islam truly is stuck in the 7th century.
Yeah.
That's true. From Celeria, finish the video, edit, time for dinner and a show. Yeah, guys, check out Celeria's. Celeria's been posting Islamic dilemma videos, but he's been going through this stuff very, very carefully and so on. So check out those videos. Read in Ali Dawah's voice. See, this we teach you how to use Photoshop to silence your muta wives, yeah? This proves how trusted we are. Evidence, yeah? And we're proud of that. Go. Liar, you definitely screenshot messages with Mike Winger. I'm not sending any messages to Mike Winger. He would be... If I were having a discussion with Mike Winger, I would definitely, because that dude's pure evil, and he would use everything. He would use everything for one of his 4-hour, this person is evil videos. And anyway, this guy's here to destroy people's lives. I'm not going to let him. Hatun, I'm humbled by you. I am facing a difficult time, and I see you laugh in the face of a mortal threat. I pray that God gives me the grace and strength of character to deal with my family's troubles that he's given you.
I pray for you too. But at the end, bottom line is, scripture tells us Jesus overcome it all. So troubles, difficulties, there is no one else we can turn to. There is no one who is going to step in to help you beside Lord Jesus Christ. So we focus our hearts and our minds to him and his word.
Everyone just catch what, there was an important point there. So people keep asking, wow, why is Hatun so strong in the face of threats? And so she just told you. She's trusting in Jesus. So whatever happens, God's in control. So what do you got to worry about? Sending you all major love while I go to start making my fettuccine carb side dish of the week. We'll continue to listen. We're trying to make everyone starve. We're trying to starving here. I'm already hungry right now. Anyway, a thought occurred to me after my mom just said, it sounds like the mafia in response to the Ummah's behavior. Maybe the mob actually inherited their protectionism from Islam. It controlled Sicily. So yeah, I'm not sure about an actual connection like you're talking about. Like maybe they got this idea from them because Islam Islam did control Sicily for a while. I don't know about the actual connection, but it is very similar. Matter of fact, for your mom, Surah, just read Surah 9, verses 28 to 33 in context. Because we frequently go to Surah 9, verse 29, fight those who do not believe in Allah. And then it goes on to say, until they pay the jizya with willing submission. But if you read the verse before, it's by Muhammad saying that the pagans were no longer allowed to take the pilgrimage to Mecca. They were worried this is going to hurt their trade relationships and so on. Allah's response is, don't worry about losing that money because I can enrich you in this other way. How's he going to enrich them? You're going to fight people until they pay you protection money. That's exactly like the mafia showing up to your business and saying, hey, be a shame if something happened to your business, but you can pay us for protection. What do you mean protection from who? Protection from you. That's what it is. We're going to fight you until you pay us protection money. Like I didn't need to be protected, man. So, yeah, it is exactly like the mafia. But for an actual historical connection, yeah, you might want to look into that. Are you a fan of Tim O'Neill, History for Atheists? No, that has no. I'm not commenting. It could be the best channel in the world, but I have too much, and so I'm not following most channels. But not familiar with that. Any of you guys familiar with that?
Nope.
History for Atheists? Yeah, me neither. D Wood, please do this. Please do this Dawah voice. Yeah, we's not so good at what we's trying to do, yeah. Yeah, it is. It does suck how bad they are at this, even though you'd assume they'd be experts now because they're like experts in deception. I'll tell you what though. I'm completely serious here. It's their community that makes them sloppy. In other words, they'll say stuff that could very easily be refuted and expose them. Their community doesn't care. It's like Andrew Tate bragging for years about all the stuff he did, and then can just say, oh, I never did any of that. It was all made up about me. And you have a bunch of fans who go, oh, yeah, see, it was all made up about him, even though they've literally seen him over and over again bragging about doing this stuff. And then when he says, oh, I never did any of that, they go, oh, you never did any of that, right? Your community convinces you that you can say whatever you want, no matter how obviously false and deceptive it is. And they'll cheer you on anyway. And what that does is, it programs you that you don't have to be careful. You can be extremely sloppy because your community doesn't care. And so someone like Ali Dawah, you'd think, oh, these guys should be masters of deception by now. They don't have to be careful. They can be sloppy with their deception. They can be easy to expose. They don't care because their community doesn't care. They don't care. At the end of the day, if their community doesn't care, it doesn't matter if you have a problem with it. It's their community that is propping them up and treating them like heroes. So, yeah, they've been programmed that they can be as sloppy as possible in their deception. It doesn't matter because their community doesn't care. That's kind of the takeaway from all this. Every heresy hates Paul. Yep. Including Islam. Who's more trustworthy, the false god, Allah, the greatest of deceivers, or Dawah guys? And we're proud of that. The challenge of the liars continues. That could be a video. Who's more deceptive? Imaginary places, Mecca, Medina, Al-Quds, and Gaza. Very rude and Islamophobic. I read online that the keffiyeh was originally Jewish before Yasser Arafat appropriated it. Is that accurate? I don't know. It is a traditional Arab head covering. I don't know if it was also Jewish before Yasser Arafat. I don't know. All right, so we're ready to jump into Thaddeus's next video?
Mm-hmm.
All right, everyone. Here is Thaddeus to present yet another problem for the Dawah guys.
I even said to her, let's do a video, I will interview you. Go public.
You've probably seen or at least heard about Ali Dawah's pathetic attempt to defend his buddy Mohammed Hijab from serious accusations of abuse and misconduct leveled by a woman alias Aisha. His primary argument is twofold. You can't trust the testimony of a woman, repeatedly mocking the idea that the accuser's testimony has any value, and you should keep such matters private, citing the example of the Prophet of Islam.
Look, if you come and say to me, Ali, you are lying. Brother, I'm not lying. Her testimony is her evidence. Following the Sunnah prophetic tradition is what? A man, Sahaba, comes with a major sin. The Prophet ﷺ moves away 4 times. Nope, we didn't know. The Prophet ﷺ is ignoring him to avoid the capital punishment.
But what you probably don't know is that 9 months ago, he was singing a very different tune, both in general and even about the specific woman in question.
Okay, so you're saying right now he's going with, oh, is she going to say this and she need to be bringing forth her 4 witnesses as Islam requires and all this and because all these requirements. Otherwise, she should shut up. Yeah, no one should believe her because she's not meeting the requirements. You're saying if you go back before all this was being used to target Mohammed Hijab, it would be, oh, yeah, you need to come forward and share your story, sister. Something like that. Huh.
Yep.
Flip-flopping, eh? Flip-flop Dawah. Ali Dawah's new nickname can be Flip-flop.
Listen closely to what he said at the time.
And a sister came to me 3-4 months ago where she was married to somebody and
Mohammed
he married
Hijab.
her, and then after that, he just chucked her away. Like this.
Hang on, is they talking about that?
Yep, that's what he's talking about.
Huh.
So he actually doesn't know it's hijab at this time. So
So at this point, he had heard the story, but she's not giving any names. She talked about, at first she wasn't trying to give any names, but she wanted to bring up the issue. And so she's talking to him, hey, I have this problem with a guy in the Dawah community who made an agreement with me to get married. But then everything he agreed to do, he didn't do. And he just said he wants me to be his hotel prostitute. So I have a problem with that. And then he's like, oh, yeah, you got to come forward with that, blah, 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 blah. Until he finds out that it's his buddy. And then, how dare you? How dare you? You got to have your 4 witnesses. Lovely, lovely religion, guys.
Spoke to me. I spoke to him in person. You know what I said to her? I said, go expose him. She didn't tell me who it was. I said, I don't care who it is. I don't even want to know. I don't want to know. Go expose him. Go expose him.
Whoa, so go expose him. That is different. That is totally different. Guys, this video just came out today. So this is Ali Dawah from some point prior to him knowing that it was Mohammed Hijab. And she's just raising an accusation. This is how he treated me. And Ali Dawah's response is, yeah, go expose him. Expose that. Expose him. You got to expose him. You can't allow this to go in the community. You can't allow this to pervert the entire Dawah community. You have to expose this guy. Oh, it's Hijab. Well, you're 4 witnesses then, you dirty liar.
Why? Did I say, no, shh, sister, don't tell anybody. Shh. No. Did he do that to you? Yes, I've heard your side. I don't know who he is. I can't even ask for his side. If he did that to you truly, and he's made you feel like this, go public. Not only that, I even said to her, let's do a video.
She should be she should be shouting from the rooftops. I didn't want to go public. He told me to go public. I didn't want to go public. I tried to do this behind the scenes. I was like, hey, can we deal with this behind the scenes? He was like, no, you go public. And so fine, I go public. And then it's, how dare you go public? Oh, wow.
I will interview you. Go public. Why? Is my loyalty with Dawah? Dawah guys? I don't give a damn, man. I don't care who you are. My loyalty is Allah and His Messenger.
Does this sound like a story?
Hang on. He's saying he doesn't care who it is. His loyalty is only to Allah and His Messenger. But he clearly showed it does matter, and his loyalty is Mohammed Hijab. That means that Mohammed Hijab is either, in Ali Dawah's mind, Allah or His Messenger. Ali Dawah just worshipped Mohammed Hijab, everyone.
You already know. If you've been following the Aisha and Mohammed Hijab case, it certainly does. The details are right. The timing is right. This has to be the same woman.
In our final interaction, he was like, look, that arrangement of meeting in hotels is what I was looking for. And I thought you are the best suitor for that kind of marriage. It is halal. And that's the only arrangement that works for me. And I'm really sorry, but that's all what I wanted. He called it sex marriage. He called it a boyfriend-girlfriend relationship. And all of these things were mentioned after he got married to me.
This story was told as part of a broader video advising Muslim women to hold da'is accountable for any inappropriate behavior they observe and to go public if it persists. It seems that for Ali Dawah back then, a woman's testimony was all the evidence she needed.
Her testimony is her evidence.
He even notes he has been giving the same advice and warning Muslimas about the dangers of making private contact with the Dawah boys for years, pointing to a video he did back in 2016 with the same advice. Why? He explains the Dawah community has a really bad reputation.
Us Dawah guys, we're really evil. Manipulative, narcissistic, gaslighting. We're just innately evil.
This is weird because I just posted a video yesterday, and I used the clip of him saying that the scientific miracles argument got debunked. He said it a bunch of times, and I used that. And I said, I've never said this before. I'll probably never say it again. But listen to Ali Dawah. Listen to Ali Dawah. And I thought there's no other scenario where I would possibly say listen to Ali Dawah, right? Other than him acknowledging the scientific miracles argument was debunked. It was a bunch of lies. It was a bunch of nonsense that Dawah clowns made up. And I said, I can't. There's no scenario where I'm going to say this again. Listen to Ali Dawah. And yet, I've been refuted. I've been refuted because there is another situation where I will say, listen to Ali Dawah. Please, everyone, listen to Ali Dawah. Let me back this up. Here's another situation where we should listen to Ali Dawah.
Us Dawah guys, we're really evil. Manipulative, narcissistic, gaslighting.
Yeah.
We're just innately evil. We prey on those that are vulnerable, especially our Muslim sisters.
And for good reason. So he is not being sarcastic.
Listen to Ali Dawah, ladies and gentlemen. Listen to Ali Dawah. The man spoke the truth right there for the second time.
Yeah, he's not being sarcastic. He's not agreeing with it either, but he's saying this is the reputation our community has. That the Dawah boys behind the scenes, this is what people say about us.
And it is. You've seen this stuff before. I mean, we've got all this stuff with hijab and hijab. I mean, a matter of fact, after this, I'll just go ahead and play the little clip from Mohammed Hijab where he's talking about how this is normal in the Dawah community. These guys marrying, having polygamous marriages behind the scenes and stuff like that. We've seen him defending the secret second wives, all that stuff. But we're familiar with all that stuff, but we've covered like Central Dawah and so on, like where they're arguing in a meeting about how they're using Islam and so on, and then they'll bring it up. Well, why are you sending, we'll say penis pictures. They call it something else, but sending penis pictures to Muslim women and so on. They're like, but you do it too. And it's like, yeah, but I'm not saying this. And so, but it's like standard for them. It's just like normal behavior, and they're all blasting each other for it. And it's like, well, it's okay for me because I'm not saying that I'm this, but you are saying that you're that. Well, it's okay for me. How dare you criticize me because you do it too? Like disgustingly dysfunctional. And here you see Ali Dawah acknowledging the reputation these Dawah guys have earned over the years with their terrible behavior. These are the guys who we're supposed to listen to on matters of religion. These are the guys who are here to civilize us with their powerful message.
Especially our Muslim sisters.
And for good reason. He goes on to explain how it's very easy for a lonely or otherwise vulnerable woman to be swept up in the fame of a da'i and be coached into doing things she otherwise would never do.
If there's anybody that can talk about this issue of vulnerability of single mothers and speaking up for their rights, it has been me. And I don't want a cookie and a thank you very much. I don't need that. And I'm not doing this to boast.
Did you hear this? If there's anyone who's going to speak up for you, okay, I spoke up, and what did you do? I silence you, and then I lie about you, trying to discredit you. What a religion, man.
As people in the public sphere, Dawah or not Dawah, you have a great power in your hands, because when sisters see you, sadly they have this attitude of, oh my gosh, it's Ali Dawah, or oh my gosh, it's this person. They have this.
The only way to combat this,
dude, I mean, he just said it, that these women have in their minds, these guys are so great, they're so wonderful, I'll do anything these guys said. That's exactly what she said. It was like, Mohammed Hijab is like a god to me. But she said what she meant in that. She's like, all the sheikhs, they're telling her how great this man is and stuff. And it's Ali Dawah saying, yeah, they have that attitude, we're so great, and they're going to listen to anything we say. And she says that, and then they use it against her to destroy her and say she's not credible. Let me go back here.
Oh my gosh, it's Ali Dawah, oh my gosh, it's this person. They have this.
The only way to combat this, he explains, is for women to go public so the Dawah boys no longer think they can get away with it and stop acting so inappropriately.
My dear sisters, if it is me messaging you, whoever it is, if you see us cross the line, you put it on us and you warn us. And if you see us carrying on, you go public and expose us.
Well, that's what one of them finally did, Ali Dawah. And what happened? You destroyed her. You tried to destroy her life and anyone who stands up for her. You're claiming that you're the one who stands up for her. You're not. Behind veils, Salman and Abu Aya are the ones who are standing up for her, and you're trying to destroy them too. You giant hypocrite. What does he want? Is he actually concerned for the good of women in the Ummah? No. He just wants the reputation so that he can act like he actually cares. He wants that reputation. When it actually comes down to it, whose side are you going to be on? Your Dawah bro or the woman who is trying to expose how horribly she's been treated by him? Whose side are you on? Dawah bro, 100% of the time. You lying hypocrite.
After nearly a decade of beating the same drum, everything
And
suddenly changed in the last 6 or 9 months, and now Ali's opinion is the exact opposite. No one should ever go public with such information. You address it in private, and you wipe your hands of the whole affair, whether you get resolution or not. What happened? Well, remember what he said in that clip.
She didn't tell me who it was. I said, I don't care who it is. I don't even want to know. I don't want to know.
Ali did the interview as planned, but afterwards, he accidentally found out who it was that had abused Aisha. Once he knew it was Mohammed Hijab, he ran crying to his special buddy and showed him the footage. Hijab told him to delete it, and that was that. Footage gone, never to be seen again. Ali said all of this himself.
However, later on, I did find out who it was. I came to this very house, and then I played this thing. I said, somebody approached me. Yes? And this was my indirect way of getting Hijab to, see, we played the full interview. This all happened in this very house. So that is the reason why I did not release the video. This is the reason why I actually even deleted it.
But now he says he was being unfair to Hijab when he did this.
I ended up being unjust towards Hijab. I actually had to apologize to Hijab and say, bro, I'm sorry. It's just I didn't want to be biased and I took the interview, whatever.
Recall again what Ali said 9 months ago.
Is my loyalty with Dawah? Dawah, guys, I don't give a damn, man. I don't care who you are. My loyalty is Allah and His Messenger.
Ali was probably being truthful. He didn't care who the interview exposed, until he learned it was his special friend, Mohammed Hijab. That changed everything, and suddenly the sin had to stay secret. Ali Dawah's loyalty might be with Allah, but Allah is definitely a few rungs down from Muhammad. Hijab, that is. As for his prophet Muhammad, he endorsed the hiding of sins of his friends, so that they too would avoid any consequences.
The Prophet ﷺ wanted to conceal the major sin of a companion that has done. A major sin. This is the prophetic tradition.
It turns out that Ali loves Hijab so much that he's even willing to forge evidence for him, as I prove in this video here.
What video? It's embarrassingly terrible. Wow, guys, that was a good, nice, concise video that really exposes Ali Dawah's complete hypocrisy on this issue. So, I mean, go ahead.
Sorry, I just wanted to make a point. Ali Dawah expressed, so Ali Dawah and Aisha's interview is being published yesterday. And in that interview, Aisha apparently recorded the video.
Wait. That got published?
Yeah, yesterday.
Yeah, she apparently was secretly recording it.
Yeah.
Whoa, where's that, on Behind Veils?
Yeah.
That's the link I sent it to you.
Oh, yeah. No, I thought, hey, we've already got all these videos. We're never going to make it through all this stuff. Yeah, we're gonna have to save that for a different time. Oh man, that's what I mean. You can't keep up. It's too much. Wow.
Yeah.
Okay, go ahead, Hatun. So wow. Okay, so she.
Yeah. So
again. So this is, to be clear. Hang on, just to be clear. So this is Ali Dawah, and he's saying yes, and so I said, yeah, you got to expose that guy, and then it's, I will help you expose this guy. Come on for an interview. We'll expose this together. And even at that point, she's like, I can't trust any of these guys. I have to record everything because I know not to trust even the people who are saying they're trying to help me. And guess what? She was right. She was 100% right not to trust Ali Dawah. She was 100% right not to trust anyone else she was talking to. None of the sheikhs. She was right not to trust any of those guys because all of them in a heartbeat will try to destroy her. Well. Okay. All right. We just want to be clear on that. I did not. All right. Go ahead, Hatun.
So it's like 30 minutes or something video. It's not that long. So in that interview, Aisha expresses that Ali Dawah is hunting her down to do the interview. And she's upset about all this, like how they are degrading women, all that kind of things. And she's not happy about it. She calls Ali Dawah out on that. But there is also a clip where Ali Dawah was expressing back in August, where he's trying to arrange meeting with her. He says, I find out who she's talking about, Mohammed Hijab. And that information came to him, and he still went to interview her. But as he invited her to come for conversation, he says he didn't want her to give the name because he didn't want his wife to find out. Ali Dawah didn't want his own wife to know that this is what Mohammed Hijab did. So he asked Aisha to not mention Mohammed Hijab's name. So just complain about it without giving the name to me. So it's been recorded. And then Mohammed Hijab goes to the office where it's the same room where Smile to Jannah is like feeding him with grape. And then he shows in that room to Mohammed Hijab, and then Mohammed Hijab shows him apparently the messages back dated 2020, end of 2020, beginning of 2021, that makes Ali Dawah convinced that she's harassing and obsessed with Mohammed Hijab. Therefore, video just got lost, deleted. He decided to not share the video. But until that stage, he's quite okay for one woman's testimony. He's okay with like no evidence at all. Until Mohammed Hijab says, oh no, bro, don't put this up. And then he just didn't put it up. But before the interview, apparently he knew about it. Strange things.
So, what it sounds like is, so Ali Dawah gets her side of the story, and then once he finds out she's accusing Mohammed Hijab, even though he had been saying, yeah, even if someone in the Dawah community is doing it, you got to expose them. Then he goes to Mohammed Hijab, basically says, hey, this woman's about to expose you. And then Hijab basically deceives Ali Dawah, like giving Ali Dawah the benefit of the doubt. Like he wasn't actually like, okay, I'll help you go after this woman by lying about her. Giving Ali Dawah the benefit of the doubt. No, Mohammed Hijab deceived him. He selected some text messages where she sounds unhinged and says, see, she's crazy, she's falsely accusing me. Oh, I'm so sorry, I took her seriously, man. I'm so sorry, I took her seriously, bro. And yet Hijab obviously wasn't sharing all the text messages because the text messages are very clear that this actually happened and so on. And so, wow, this is no wonder these guys recorded it. Even the Dawah guys can't trust each other. Even the tightest Dawah bros cannot trust each other for 2 seconds. Huh. I bet Mohammed Hijab was recording that entire discussion with Ali Dawah. Like, Ali Dawah was like, yo, why you got a recorder on over there, bro? Oh, no, just no reason at all, just in cases.
From now on, I'm sending anyone text message or voicemail. I'm recording that from now on. One of the things was clear in the interview, Ali Dawah and Aisha. You could hear from Ali Dawah's voice that actually, even though he knew it was Mohammed Hijab, he's like simply gently encouraging women to speak up, like, why are you okay with like being second wife? And then she talks about, oh, this is cultural, like it's very normal in Islam, all those kind of things. So you can see like he's gently kind of wants to get these things to go as long as name is not there. But he comes to that sofa where lots of things happening in that black sofa in Ali Dawah's office, and then suddenly she becomes evil. Whatever happened between Mohammed Hijab and Ali Dawah that day, unless like those clips or recordings will come out, we won't know. But something happened there, and now everyone is against her.
Huh. Well. Yeah, so guys, Thaddeus has a nice short video exposing Ali Dawah's sudden change of mind on whether women should be exposing these guys. Had a sudden change of heart and a sudden change of methodology. Yeah, go ahead and share that. Nice video exposing it. All right, Thaddeus, so kind of one more issue. Well, I mean, there are multiple issues, multiple more videos and so on, but I've got one more pulled up that we wanted to cover. What is this? This is Ali Dawah. So this is the video that you were clipping there?
Yeah, so this is where I took the clips from. The first 10, 11, 12 minutes, something like that of the video is all him saying that same kind of stuff. But you can see that, if we play the context, we can see his full argument. And you can also see that I didn't like deceptively take him out of context or something.
All right, let's watch a little bit of this. Let's see.
For all the single moms out there, to be warned, Dawah men and their sickening ideologies.
These Dawah guys.
The reason why these Dawah bros,
These Dawah guys.
There has been yet another incident of a Dawah figure.
These Dawah guys.
Let me share with you guys why do I have a deep problem with the Dawah boys on social media.
Hey, thank you, Ali Dawah. It looks like he's compiled all the women complaining publicly about how they're being abused behind the scenes by the Dawah guys. And then Ali, so wait, just to be clear, this is Ali Dawah. Yeah, I'm on your side, sisters. I'm on your side to protect you, help protect you from the evil Dawah guys. And then the moment one of them actually comes forward with stuff, it's, I will destroy you, how dare you?
So to be clear, he does talk about one of the incidents in one of these videos in the second half after giving that general advice, and he does kind of take the man's side in it. But his first advice is like, I've spent all this time telling women to come forward, continue to come forward, please. But in this particular case, the guy was kind of, it's complicated, is basically what he says.
For all the single moms out there, to be warned, Dawah men and their sickening ideologies.
But hang on, this is just crazy because like for years we're like, these guys are evil. These guys are evil narcissists, and we're called Islamophobes for saying this. And yet these are all Muslim women saying this. Like, we know these guys. We've been manipulated and brainwashed by these guys, and all they do is treat us like prostitutes or abuse us in other ways. And we've learned this about them, and we're here sharing our stories. And then Ali Dawah, I'm here for you, sisters. Yeah, I'm here for you. Oh my goodness. Thank you for showing, Ali Dawah, that at the end of the day, they're completely right about what absolute evil scumbags you guys are.
These Dawah guys.
the reason why these Dawah bros,
These Dawah guys.
There has been yet another incident of a
You already played this
Dawah
clip.
figure.
These Dawah guys.
Let me share with you guys why
He plays
do
all
I
of them
have
twice.
Why is
I
he
should
playing
have
them
warned
twice?
you.
Come
he-
on, Elia. That's
It's his preview what's coming up, but then it's at the very start.
oh,
of the
so it
video.
was from the preview. Okay. So he repeated them. All right, let's see.
a deep problem
Hey, I don't mind hearing it twice. I don't mind. I don't mind hearing this twice.
with the Dawah boys on social media.
Yes, us Dawah guys. We're really evil.
Yeah.
Manipulative.
True.
Narcissistic.
Check.
Gaslighting.
Yeah.
We-
Listen to Ali Dawah, ladies and gentlemen. Listen, that's 2 days in a row. I'm saying listen to Ali Dawah. It's a broken clock situation.
Just innately evil. We prey on those who are vulnerable, especially our Muslim sisters.
That's true.
Yes, that's what we do.
Yeah.
We come together collectively
Yeah.
and we say, how can we take advantage of the most vulnerable in our community?
That's exactly what you
Sisters,
do.
single mothers.
Yep.
I mean, brothers and sisters, before I get into the video of the whole situation with Zaid and our dear sister, I want to just talk about a few things. I really want to know where this phenomena is coming from.
You guys.
As if us Dawah guys are just perverted individuals who wake up in the morning, before we have breakfast, we focus and think, and we have this big master plan of taking advantage of sisters.
You do. Like, you clearly do. I mean, we've got Mohammed Hijab like bragging about how you guys are like he estimates like 85% of you guys are polygamous behind the scenes, or sometimes up front, but behind the scenes you guys are all doing this, and so of course you're doing that. And he even explains different kinds of Muslim women from different backgrounds and explains who are easiest to manipulate with this stuff. So yes. And by the way, Ali Dawah, when you're doing all your entire shows about secret second wives and justifying it and so on, that's exactly what you're doing. You're preparing the Muslim community for what you're doing and justifying it. So don't act like, oh, we're the people get this idea that we're taking advantage of all these women and stuff from you. Wow.
I mean, I'm just really curious. Like, what is it that we have done that we've got this label?
You doing it over and over and over again is what. It's like Andrew Tate. Well, where did I get the reputation as a sex trafficker? By doing it and bragging about it for years. That's where you got the reputation. It wasn't from other people, it's from you. And same thing here. Oh my goodness.
I mean, was I caught with prostitutes 3-4 days ago and it was exposed? Was Zakir Naik caught with a woman? A'udhu billah. Was Mufti Meng sending nude pics? Was Mohammed Hijab caught in the red light district? What?
What? Dude, why? He's using like imaginary examples. Dude, you work with Hamza Tortoise, and he was exposed for for being on the hookup website, having the account on the hookup website. Who's that? I forget his name, but just last year, this guy was having a woman make porn videos of her daughter. And he was the Quran teacher for a major Muslim organization. You've got the guy who was in the sexting scandal. You've got Mohammed Hijab now. This is all going on, man. Don't act like, oh, what happened? Where'd they get this idea from? From you guys, over and over again. Bunch of sicko perverts, man.
What have we done? Ahmed Deedat.
What did we do? Was Ahmed Deedat? Here's the thing, Ali Dawah. You guys are masters of convincing women to keep their mouths shut about this stuff. You're just getting to the point where some women are speaking up, and we're finding out about all this messed up stuff behind the scenes. And so the point is, we have no idea what Ahmed Deedat was into. We have no idea what Zakir Naik has done. We know that it's pretty standard in the Dawah community, according to Mohammed Hijab himself, to be doing this stuff. He estimates 85%. That's him. That's not us. That's him estimating things. So where'd you get the reputation from you guys?
The great giants of the Dawah. What have we done so much that this label of all these Dawah guys, every single video...
Did you hear what he just said? The great giants of Dawah. What have we done? He includes himself among the great giants of Dawah.
From sisters, for some odd reason, is these Dawah guys and these Dawah boys and these Dawah men and this... I mean, just imagine for a second, I started this video and I've got a lot of personal experiences when it comes to single mothers from my personal life when I was looking to get married. Yes, I've had majority has been very good. And there's been times where it's been bad. Imagine I start a video and I go, these single mother hijabis, or more specifically, single mother hijabi Eritreans or Pakistanis or Bengalis or Turkish or whatever you want to name it. Why would I generalize a big group of people to a couple of people that I had a bad experience with?
Again, Hijab generalizes it. Says he estimates 85% of you guys are doing this stuff. Hijab generalizes it. Don't act like these women are generalizing. Hijab does it.
Why? We really need to be careful. There's so much slander being out there, and it's all coming down to like us. Now, just because someone does something, I mean, a couple of months ago, it was the whole sisters cannot wear the jacket because their shoulders show, something so ridiculous like that, okay? Now, what's that got to do with me? Why are we all in the same category? Something else happens. We're all labeled. So let's not generalize and fear Allah. Allah tells us in the Quran to speak the truth, even if it's yourself or your kin. Or your kin. Brothers and sisters, when I came to Islam, wallahi, I got kicked out. I was called ISIS. I was called a terrorist. I was away from my house for 3 months.
Poor guy, the Dawah guy. It's so hard. It's so hard being a Dawah guy.
Okay. And I was called everything. But to me, when I looked in the mirror, I had to be true to myself and say, Ali,
It's just amazing. You have the absolute, hands down, bar none, most evil and disgusting and reprehensible people who turn women in their own community into prostitutes and still wants the reputation as the good guy. Oh, look at all I've endured. How I was supposed to get kicked out, and I have to look in the mirror. I have to remain true to Allah. That's why I'm here for you, sisters, to help and support you. Until one of you actually say anything, then I try to destroy your life. We're proud of that.
Am I going to turn my back on this religion because I'm under pressure or this, that, and I'm being called names? Never.
Under pressure.
Uqsum billah, never. I don't care if the entire globe came against me. I know Islam is the truth,
So
and I will
great.
stand by that. Inshallah,
What a great
till the
man.
day I die.
He's so
I'm not going to be
noble.
swayed. So
He's so noble. He's just after the truth. He's not after all the wives that he's secret second wives and so on that his best buddy acknowledges they're all doing behind the scenes. And what's that?
I just want to point out he's recording this in a hotel room.
And that's recording live from Mohammed Hijab's hotel room where he bangs all his muta wives.
There was, I think it was 5 years ago or something, there is this lady with niqab turn up the speaker's corner. She was so upset, she was crying because Ali Dawah did something to her. She was trying to expose him, but Muslims took her away and she never came back. That says quite, like, it just reminds me now as he talking about this and we are talking about what Mohammed Hijab is doing to Muslim ladies. It makes me to think, like, what was that actually lady was so concerned and so upset about? And his comments on people were accusing him to be ISIS. As ISIS was just like kind of still actively in Iraq and Syria. Ali Dawah and if I dig into it, I could find the video. Ali Dawah and Adnan Rashid's son went to this boat. They were gonna do talk about Dawah in a boat to Muslims. They were doing fundraising or something. And then guy is asking them why they're not publicly supporting ISIS, why they're not publicly saying how ISIS is Islamic. That was like another secret recording. And then Adnan Rashid's son is saying, well, if we say those things publicly, it is crime. So we cannot say those things. Therefore, we just say, in a way, we can get away. And it is good after like almost a decade after that, he turns up in front of the mirror and then needed to face with the mirror, puts his hands down and then says, oh, mirror, mirror, tell me who is the most honest Dawah guy and most loyal Dawah guy in this world. And then mirror speaks back and then says, it's you, Ali. No
You are
one-
Ali Dawah? You know this, Ali Dawah? I sound exactly like you.
Yeah.
So it's so fake. It's so fake. We can see what he does over the years. And even on the issue of the Islamic State, I mean, this is the guy who posts videos. Yeah, when we get our Islamic State, then I'm gonna be eating popcorn while getting you killed. So you obviously support this stuff, Ali Dawah. But you shouldn't say it about me, isn't it? What is this? What is this religion? You want the reputation of being these honest, awesome guys who are purely moral, and we look at you and you are the most lying, evil scumbags we have ever met in our lives. And you want the reputation as good guys. It's the same thing in Islam. They can be shouting from the rooftops how it's okay to have sex with prepubescent little girls and stuff. The moment we say it as a criticism, shame on us for maligning them and so on. What is this? You're a joke, dude. You're a joke, and you're being exposed, and you deserve it. So enough of this. Oh, but look, oh, I'm so great. Isn't it sad that, in my quest for truth and God, that I get attacked in this way? Yeah. Quit being an evil scumbag. Then you'll have a point.
my loyalty in this situation that I'm going to be talking about is not with anybody. Not with the sister, not with Zaid, not with Mohammed Hijab, not with Smart Jannah Zishan, not with Mufti Mek, nobody, not even myself. Uqsum billah, I swear upon the Rabb of the Kaaba, I am going to be just as much as I can. Okay, I'm not on nobody's side. One thing I want
I swear by the pee of the camel that I drink.
to mention is I have
I swear by the pen that my first wife uses to write messages on her whiteboard because I won't let her speak.
3 daughters. I have a 7-year-old, I have a 3-year-old, and I have a 1-year-old.
How long ago was this?
3 years ago, this is.
This
So
video
that-
is 9 months ago.
No.
This is 9 months ago?
9 months ago.
Okay, so he had a 7-year-old 9 months ago because we all remember what he said about his daughter when she reaches the age of 9.
Mm-hmm.
They are my daughters. And every father knows how they are close to their daughters. They are my life and they are a part of me. I would never, ever, ever, even if I did not have daughters,
I would never, ever, ever let one of my daughters go anywhere near a Dawah guy. I hope that's your advice, Ali Dawah, because I will say again that people need to listen to you. It'll be third time.
when I didn't. I would never ever be biased or this misconception that has been spread about us around that we're misogynistic, we hate women. I wake up and I just look at my daughters and go, I hate you guys. I look at my wife and go, I hate you the most actually. And my mom.
Yeah, Ali Dawah, we know that just sort of biologically you care about your own daughters. Even though you said that if your daughter started menstruating at the age of 9, you would tell her she's ready to be married. We know you are concerned for your own daughters. It's your friends' daughters we're worried about because those are the ones that you would do something with. And as far as your daughters, it's we don't worry about you and your daughters except for the fact that you'd marry them off. We're worried about your friends who say, yeah, your daughter is 9 now, let me have her. And you go, oh, okay, I have to because then I want his daughter for me and so we got to be trading like that, yeah? You bunch of sickos.
Let's be just here. That's what I'm saying. Now, coming into this matter, when we're talking about vulnerability and single mothers. Now, I'm going to be very brutal and honest in this matter.
You're going to be honest, okay.
And I've done this a long time ago. 9 to 10 years ago, me and Aki Ayman done a video about single mothers because he was married to a single mother. I had a show called The Reality Show. And the video is that you can watch it for yourself. 9, 10 years ago.
He had a show called The Reality Show? Where does he come up with this? The bitter truth, the reality show. Everything's about the truth and reality and everything is a lie.
I was talking about this. I was doing PSAs 9, 10 years ago. How single mothers are looked down upon, especially in the Asian community. I've spoken about this in the Bitter Truth show as well. How they're looked down upon as if they are less worthy, they have nothing to offer, they are trash, they are used goods. I have spoken about this 9, 10 years ago. So nobody can dare to come and talk to me about, oh, this, that, or whatever.
No one can criticize Ali Dawah. He is the standard of conduct in Islam. His intentions are pure. He's always good. Just, okay, are we going to have like 20 minutes of him bragging about himself and trying to set himself up as the hero of the ummah here? I'm the hero of women everywhere, yeah? That's what I does.
There's anybody that can talk about this issue of vulnerability of single mothers and speaking up for their rights, it has been me. And I don't want a cookie and a thank you very much. I don't need that. And I'm not doing this to boast.
I'm not doing this to boast, even though all I was doing is boasting, yeah?
I spoke about that. Not only that, about 5, 6 years ago, there was somebody that I knew, I don't want to get into details, yes, who was doing things that was inappropriate, messaging sisters in inappropriate ways, calling them to inappropriate things. He was not necessarily in the Dawah scene. Still, I done a video called Warning Sisters Against Ali Dawah.
He's not bragging, folks. He's not bragging. He's not bragging. He's just being honest about being the greatest Muslim of our generation and the one who the Islam's greatest defender of women everywhere.
Why? I made it clickbait. You guys know I'm a PhD in my clickbait. I done that and I made a thumbnail that made it look like I got caught out and some sisters exposing me. And alhamdulillah, there was a lot of sisters out there, obviously, they're waiting for this opportunity by the way. We're going to talk about those sisters as well.
He's super honest. That's why he admits that he made it clickbait.
And I done this video. Why do you think I done this video? I done this video to warn sisters that whoever it is, that even if it's Ali Dawah coming and approaching you, because I know sisters are hypergamous by nature. So when it comes to us, we have a great power in our hands. I have to be honest, as people in the public sphere, Dawah or not Dawah, you have a great power in your hands because when sisters see you, sadly, they have this attitude of, oh my gosh, it's Ali Dawah, oh my gosh, it's this person. They have this. Sadly, we have this power and we need to be responsible with it. That's why I done that video to tell sisters, my dear sisters, if it is me messaging you, whoever it is, if you see us cross the line, you put it on us and you warn us. And if you see us carrying on, you go public and expose us.
if you do this, then you expose us. If we see this, then you expose us. And then we will destroy you so no one ever does it again, yeah? Guys, that's exactly what he's saying. He wants the reputation of a guy who sides with women and defends women and so on. The moment he has an opportunity. I mean, think about this. Thaddeus and Hatun. What kind of if Ali Dawah were serious here, if you were actually sincere, if you were actually a person who would side with women, no matter how close he is with the oppressor or the manipulator, no matter how loyal he is, he still has to side with Allah and protect the oppressed, protect the victim. Just imagine if in this entire scenario it was, Hijab has been my partner for years. Hijab's been my best buddy for years. But I have to even call him out right now. How much respect would we have for Ali Dawah right now if he were doing that?
I would definitely have a good deal of respect.
Hey, your mic is all staticky now. What'd you do?
Nothing.
It's all horribly staticky now.
All right. Give me 1 second. I can fix it.
Okay. But what's he do? He wants the reputation of someone who is a great, wonderful guy, and then shows that none of it is true. None of it is true. He is here just to protect his buddies. He's just here to protect his buddies, and he's just here to keep women quiet about this stuff.
If we are calling you to haram, if we are talking to you in an inappropriate way, because it is not permissible, outright, I done that video. It was against you, myself, and all the public figures, and it was a message to that brother who was acting up.
So
noble.
noble.
Forgive him. He's repented, changed his ways, no problem.
So noble, so noble.
But the point is what? It was a warning. So, and we spoke about this on The Bitter Truth as well. Single mothers being looked down upon, divorces being looked down upon. We talk about how they play the role of a mother and a father, and they should be looked after. And I've emphasized this so many times. That's my point. Now, when it comes to my personal experience, and I'm going to go to the Jose issue in a minute.
Go ahead and pause here for a second. Hopefully my mic is better now.
Yep, it's good.
Okay, cool. So that individual from 5 or 6 years ago, I think he probably alludes to the same individual when he's trying to go after Salman. And he describes what he actually did in that situation.
Hey, you got staticky again. Hang on, go ahead and talk.
I don't know what's going on with that.
Okay,
but,
you're okay now. Go ahead.
That he says that him and Hijab, they confronted him, and then they washed their hands of it. Right? They said, "You shouldn't be doing this," and then that's all they did. Right? That's how they confronted this guy, or he said, "You shouldn't be doing this. We're not going to associate with you until you stop doing it." That's the extent of discipline in the Dawah community.
Powerful. That's how you do things, ladies and gentlemen. And then you spend the rest of your life bragging about what a champion of women you are. And then you destroy them.
Our dear sister, I personally, when I was looking to get married, I met multiple single mothers for marriage.
I almost thought he said, I did muta.
And I was not married already. I was looking to get married as my first wife. And I was looking to get married, and I would meet single mothers who had 2 kids, a child. Yes, some of them divorcee sisters. I had no issue with a sister. To me personally, it was like maximum 2 kids. It's personal preference for me. And I said, a sister with 2 kids, I have no problem. And believe me, when I went to these marriage meetings and I would meet them, I saw vulnerability. How? Number one, because I'm a public figure. Obviously, when they see me, oh my gosh, they see me on TV or YouTube. Oh my gosh, it's Ali Dawah. You know, he chose, like, he wants to marry me. Like, wallahi, there was one sister. Allah is my witness. She made it seem as if I was doing her a favor. And I had to reiterate and repeat and say, my dear sister, look, I'm not here to do you a favor.
No.
I'm not. I don't want you to feel, I don't know how a certain community have made you feel. I'm not here to make you feel as if I'm doing you a favor because I am choosing to marry you and you've got kids.
Is it just me, or has this entire, we're 8.5 minutes into it, has this just been him bragging about how great he is the entire time? 8.5 minutes into his video.
Let him brag. He just looked at the mirror, and then mirror told him how awesome he is, and then he needs to say those things to himself so he continues to believe it, David. Don't be selfish.
Yeah, so think about this, guys. This is him starting off with some video clips of various women who've had some horrible experiences with Dawah guys and how slimy and abusive they are. And then we're 8.5 minutes into his response, and it's nothing but him bragging about how different and wonderful he is, and how, yo, I have all this power because every woman in the world, she's like, yo, I use Ali Dawah, use our hero, we will do anything for you, you can bang us as much as you want. And I was like, no sisters. She's like, oh, but I've already got a daughter, so I'm nothing, so you could just treat me like a prostitute your entire life. And he's like, no sister, my job is to uplift you. I was here for all of you. I love all women. That is the great protector of all the women. Yeah. Oh, wait, one of these women is speaking out against Mohammed Hijab. She's a lying, evil whore.
Yep.
And to prove it, I's got my buddy, and he's photoshopping the fake evidence against her, and then was going to put that out there to silence her, because that's how much I love women. What the heck is this? Okay, let's see him keep bragging.
I'm not doing that. I'm not here to do that. Okay, I made that clear. But I noticed this vulnerable situation single mothers were in. And I'm not saying all of them are angel, by the way. I've had quite a few, one or two, majority was good, one or two bad experiences. But the point is what? The vulnerability is there. Now, as men, we have a responsibility to know better. Brothers, I know of stories. And a sister came to me 3-4 months ago where she was married to somebody, and
is this what you were saying is about, actually, obviously about Mohammed Hijab?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, guys, so this is him talking about what happened with Mohammed Hijab. He's not naming any names because this is from apparently 9 months ago, but this is him talking about that situation. Let me back it up a little bit.
Know better. Brothers, I know of stories. And a sister came to me 3-4 months ago where she was married to somebody, and he married her,
Mohammed Hijab,
and then after that, he just chucked her away. Like this.
Who is that? Who might be?
He married her, used her for sex, and chucked her away, just like that. That's how Ali Dawah describes this.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
She spoke to me. I spoke to him personally. You know what I said to her? I said, go expose him. She didn't tell me who it was. I said, I don't care who it is. I don't even want to know. I don't want to know. Go expose him. Why? Did I say, no, shh, sister, don't tell anybody. Shh. No. Did he do that to you? Yes, I've heard your side. I don't know who he is. I can't even ask for his side. If he did that to you truly, and he's made you feel like this, go public. Not only that, I even said to her, let's do a video, I will interview you. Go public. Why? Is my loyalty with Dawah?
Where's the video? Oh, she had to publish it, Ali Dawah. She had to publish her private recording of the interview because she didn't trust you even back then, rightly so. In spite of your great reputation as being the hero of women everywhere.
Our guys, I don't give a damn, man. I don't care who you are. My loyalty is Allah and His Messenger. So,
and Mohammed Hijab.
That is there. We as men need to know better. So, and I'm saying, by the way, I know some stories of brothers who have married single mothers, and these single mothers have lied, and it's gone pear-shaped. So brothers, don't look at single mothers as like, oh, they are absolutely innocent. No, be careful, be wary. Single mothers, be wary of brothers. Brothers, let there be that thing there. No problem. We have to be cautious.
Everyone just trust everyone.
That's good.
So the point I'm saying is there is vulnerability on that side. And one thing that I would say, which I do not agree with Sister Soul, I'm going to mention her. Yep, Sister Soul, you're watching this probably. May Allah bless and preserve you.
So the rest of the video is going to be about the specific situation that is one of the TikToks from the start.
Okay, so he's talking about her situation, and he's yet again the hero of women everywhere.
Yeah, so he kind of comes in the middle, sort of saying like there's some wrong on both sides of that situation. But all that up to that point is just him saying that we need to believe women, and they need to expose us, and they need to go public, and then it actually happens, and then he's like, never mind, don't go public. That's the worst thing you could do.
All right, that's what we wanted to cover today. But I did say we might go ahead and take a look at this little video from Mohammed Hijab, where he's talking about how common this is, and he's actually educating Muslims on which Muslim women will be most open to being treated this way. But here we go.
Most of the big names of Dawah have at least done polygamy once. The du'at, I would say it's about 85%. The women who take it...
You guys catch that? Let's go back. And then it's interesting, his little comment about the women who take it the best, that has double meaning. You know what I mean? You can see his face. It has double meaning. The women who take it best are the reverts. This is why they try to get women and girls to convert to Islam, because he says, look at it, look at both these guys smiling. That this is fun. This is hilarious to them. It's hilarious to them that this is how they are behind the scenes. So you have on this screen Daniel Hakikachu, a guy who defends sex with 4-year-olds. 4-year-olds. This guy defends. He's the world's leading defender of child marriage. And Hijab is in the video with him bragging about the stuff that these guys are doing. And keep in mind, guys, these are the good guys, and we're the bad guys for exposing this stuff.
Most of the big names of Dawah have at least done polygamy once. The du'at, I would say it's about 85%.
85%.
The women who take it the best are the revert sisters.
The women who take it the best are the revert sisters. The women who take it the best are revert sisters. If you want to know, as a Dawah guy, who's going to take it best, it's the revert sisters. Why? Why is that? Because we focus on getting messed up women from messed up backgrounds with bad relationships with their fathers and stuff. We focus on getting them.
And reaches 50%.
Well, not only that,
in the UK, what percentage of...
Oh, what was that? Correct.
I said not only that, a convert is often extremely lonely, isolated from their family, don't have a Muslim friends and family to go to, so they are extremely, extremely vulnerable. And here's Hijab saying, yeah, they're very vulnerable. Go after it.
And these revert women, as he puts it out, were typically converted by these Dawah guys who, oh my goodness, he's so smart. Everything the Dawah guys are saying to you is a lie, but they dupe you into converting, and they're like, oh, I'm so grateful. What can I do? Well, you can be my third or fourth wife, because you'll take it best.
Imams and shuyukh and du'at have a second wife. What percentage would you say?
That's very difficult to know, but it's a difficult one. It depends on what kind of community as well. Like the Asians here, they're not really into it that much. The Pakistanis but the reverts are into it. Like black people are into it here. Not all blacks. Somali uncles are into it. Like a lot of Somalis with it. You'll find like Somalis have a lot. Arabs are into it. North Africans do it. So it depends. I think a lot of it is to do with like community-based demographics and how the woman will take it.
It's about how the woman will take it.
The women who take it the best are the revert sisters. From my experience look
at what he says, and then watch him start smiling, guys. Watch him start smiling. He says, the women who take it the best, in my experience, are the revert sisters. And then he says, my experience of observing, but watch him start smiling. Watch him start smiling. Meaning, I'm pretending that this is just by observation and not by me doing it. Watch
my
his
experience of observing the situation.
You see that?
It's so, yani,
guys, what was that? That was him just, my experience of observing, and then he instantly starts laughing, and so does Daniel Hakikachu. He knows what he's saying. He knows what he's saying. Hang on.
So it depends. I think a lot of it is to do with like community-based demographics and how the woman will take it. The women who take it the best are the revert sisters. From my experience of observing the situation, it's so, yani, every community has their thing, and I think the Pakistanis are the least likely to do it. Like the older generation Pakistanis and Bengalis and stuff, they're least likely to do it. I haven't really seen that many, but now the Salafis are doing it. Salaf Pakistanis are doing it. It's more possible in the Salafi communities, I think, than the Deobandi communities and the.
Would you say it's like half? Is it 50% or more?
Who?
Of all shuyukh, imams, and du'at?
Much less than that.
Much less.
The du'at, I would say it's about 85%.
So guys, he's drawing attention to different communities and so on. Different, like you've got the sheikhs and so on, then the Dawah guys. And he's saying the Dawah guys do this most. The Dawah guys are the ones who do this most.
This
Well,
is,
What's that?
sorry. This clip is from a very long live stream where after the live stream, Mohammed Hijab simply stabbed Daniel Hakikachi on the back. Just before this, they are talking about, they are responding an email from someone. Muslim is asking a question that he finds out that he's married. So he thinks he married this virgin, and then 2-3 years into marriage, he finds out, no, she wasn't virgin and she even had abortion, all those kind of things. So they are discussing how to respond to that lady. And Hijab is saying to the husband, go and get second wife, third wife. If I were you, I would do this, all those kind of things, like encouraging that individual to get more wives so that he can make her suffer and then just like ignore her. And then coming to this part where they are discussing why reverts are the one more kind of into it. Main reason is for that in England, it's been years back. So there was, during the Christmas time, Muslims do lots of kind of Dawah events. They bring this so-called ex-Christian. He shares his testimony, tells how as a Christian he was believing 3 gods, all those kind of things. And now he find the truth, all that. And then in that, so I went to one of these Dawah events, and then guy who was speaking, he said, go to churches, there are lots of single women, go and get them. So the way you take Christianity down is you go and then meet with these Christians and then you get them, in a sense like, oh, you are so wonderful. And then like those Christian women don't have anyone to get married, so they fall into you and then they marry you. So it is very, very easy to deceive new believers, new Muslims, and then have them as second wife. Because once there is emotional attachment is done, she's willing to convert, even she has not converted yet. She's willing to convert. And the moment she converted, you plug her to a mosque, and then you make her to make babies, and then she's quite okay to be second wife or third wife. In some occasions, woman doesn't even know about it. Husband comes, oh, I work at night, all those kind of, it's like very ugly. I met lots of women who has been in such a situation. And in here, he's simply, Pakistanis don't want it. Why? Because in Pakistan, they have seen how awful it is. Oh, in Somalia, they are okay with it. Somalian men is okay with it. Why? Because the moment their wife says something, oh, wife, you got beaten, you better shut up. There is no one who can look after you. So you better shut up and then accept the second wife who is going to help you with the housework, all those kind of things. Reverts, so-called reverts, they are absolutely fine because they are lonely. They don't have anyone to speak. They couldn't find the husband in the church or outside of the church. We intentionally went after them. We grabbed them, and only way we are going to keep them is marry them off with one of us. It's very, like, it's proper business. Yasir Qadhi talks about it. This is the way now they are bringing converts into Islam through love jihad. Very, very ugly business. And it is double ugly when you see they're talking about it and they're making fun of it. They think it is funny. Just like, it's not funny. I did live stream about it. It's just, this is just not funny at all. But as you expressed, Daniel Hakikachi news, just by observing. Now we find out, and this is like 3 months ago or something. Well, that wasn't just by observing. You practiced it. You practiced it even to someone who wasn't even convert. And well, great that you caused her to have doubt or hope that Aisha walks out of Islam and turns to Jesus. But it makes me angry to just see they think this is funny and they are laughing about it. Yep. Deceiving woman into love, deceiving woman into relationship, but it's called Islam.
Yeah, and as you were talking, something that's like Mohammed Hijab is saying, oh, but, Pakistanis aren't much into it. And you pointed out that that's, Pakistanis have experienced it and so on. And so they know how messed up it is. But I mean, someone who's just listening to that would be like, oh, so Pakistanis are better. Well, who are the ones who are most into the grooming gangs and stuff like this and going around and engage, stalking these little 12-year-old and so on? It was the Pakistanis. And so it's like, oh, we can't get our extra mutta wives and misyar wives and stuff like that. So we'll just go bang 12-year-olds and we'll all think that's fine. It's like, gosh, this is... So you're either doing polygamy left and right or something like that, or you're banging 12-year-olds. These guys are sick. This is some sick, evil stuff. And this is the fruit of Islam. Jesus said, you will know a tree by its fruits. And this is the fruit we see, ladies and gentlemen. And Aisha, you should be paying attention to this. How are you not paying attention to this? You see what the Dawah guys are, and yet you trust them still on Islam, that they gave you they gave you the truth, right? The Dawah guys have always given the Muslim community the truth about how this religion is true.
That's way more than 50%.
No, the dais. Who have
dais, shuyukh, imams, that whole class.
Either who are in it or have done it. The dais that I've come across in proper mashayikh and stuff like at that level, 80%.
Yeah, that's compared to the U.S. That's very high. I don't think that over here it even reaches 50%.
So people all the but most of the big names of Dawah have at least done polygamy once. Most of them, if not, every person that you can think of,
every person that you can think of, including the ones on the screen here, obviously.
The big names and people you wouldn't expect. Do you know what I mean? It's surprising.
People you wouldn't expect. So you think, oh, this is the nicest, noblest Dawah guy on the planet, and yet he's got 3-4 wives behind the scenes.
Some people have 20 kids.
Wow. I know who he's talking
about. Yeah. 20 kids. I think he says there's one with 30. Let's see.
There's one guy who I won't mention. Very famous guy. He's got 30 kids.
Wow.
MashaAllah.
So we'll let people imagine who.
They're bragging about this stuff, guys. They think it's funny.
Yeah, so he says every name you can think of, which I guess includes Ali Dawah, for example. But right after the part where they cut it off, he does say, but Zakir Naik doesn't. And I was quite surprised to learn that. So he says Zakir Naik's the exception. But everyone else you could think of is engaging in polygamy, according to Mohammed Hijab.
And yet, if one of the brides come forward, shame on her, she's lying. Strange stuff.
She's a stalker.
All right, guys, let's take these last couple of super chats and we'll be out. David, oh, go ahead.
I just wanted to make a comment on what Daniel Hakikachi said. As Mohammed Hijab was giving the numbers to him, Hakikachi said, well, comparing to that, this number is pretty low in USA. There is this clip of lady, she's involved with Dawah, travels around the world stuff. She's talking about, I don't know how true it is, but it is kind of matching with what Mohammed Hijab is saying. She's talking about how American Dawah gangs are traveling to Asia and then involving with wives over there, doing very similar thing what Mohammed Hijab is doing with Aisha in a hotel room, and she's complaining about it, and then she's talking about how that number is very, very high. So maybe in America number is low, but according to her, what the American Islamic Dawah gangs are doing around the world, it seems pretty high as well.
Pretty creepy, but we're the bad guys. David, did you see Candace Owens denouncing Trump for defunding universities over their support of anti-Semitic students? Nope. Kind of only paying attention to what Candace Owens does if we watch a clip during a live stream or something. Keep up the good work, guys. Thank you. Welcome to Hotel Caliphate. Such a lowly place. Yeah. Welcome to the Hotel Caliphate. Praying for those kids of the Dawah guys. They need protection, especially against child marriage. Praying for all those kids' salvation. Yeah, you're talking about 30 Dawah guy having 30 kids. And one, you got to think, what about the boys? What example are they being given? Like the boys are raised with these guys as their examples. But then you think about the girls. What are these guys doing? They're probably all trading off their daughters. Hey, I'll give you my child. You give me your child, and so on.
Because they haven't seen any like that's how they learn. They never, in their mind, this is how it is. Aisha was talking about like she was quite okay to be second wife because this is in our culture. She never heard the alternative. Actually, there is a way. There is a way. One man and one woman relationship. In her mind, I have seen my neighbors are doing this. My uncle is doing this. All my village is doing this. And it is in the Quran. There is no alternative. So therefore, I am okay to be the second wife to someone else. And it will be the same for future Dawah gangs. My father was saying this. My father was doing this. There is no other way. And I enjoy doing it. Let me continue.
And this is rough stuff. So yeah, they are conditioned their entire lives to think this is normal. And yet still something just feels wrong about it. And yet they still keep doing it because they think, well, if it feels wrong, my feelings must be wrong, because we know that Islam has to be right. And so they just continue accepting it. Wallahi, you as cowreeds. Yes, we are. Mushi here says Hastun. It's Hatun. It's Hatun. Get it right. There's no S in Hatun. I was missionary in Ethiopia 20 years ago. These marriage without any clergy, but also blinds on the windows. Allah can't see inside every motel. Yeah, Allah can't. Can't see what's going on behind the curtain. The way they deal with women reminds me of The Art of Seduction, Robert Greene, an absolutely revolting ideology. It is. I mean, it's like Andrew Tate's course on how to manipulate women and girls into being your cam girls and so on. It's just different in the Dawah community. How to dupe these women and girls into being your secret second, third, fourth wives and so on. Sick stuff. Ali Dawah and Mojab, proving every day that the true fruit of Islam is child marriage, broken women, and cowardice dressed up as piety. Yeah, that's the messed up part. This is how they are, and yet they want the reputations. And we saw Ali Dawah brag for eight and a half minutes straight about how wonderful he is. They want the reputation of being the guys who are moral and pious and are bringing the truth to civilize the rest of us. And we see what the actual fruit of Islam is. And finally, thank you for all you do. Yep, thank you, Fetty Lou. All right, guys, final thoughts before we close out for the day. Thaddeus?
Yeah, I'm going to continue to look into this case as things develop. So if you want to see more on Aisha and Mohammed, definitely subscribe to my channel. My heart really goes out to Aisha. She's still a victim, right? She has some responsibility. I'm not saying that she has no responsibility, but she was a victim by Mohammed, and she's still a victim because she's posted a message basically saying that she's going to not say anything else publicly and go through the Islamic Council because they agreed to take the case, which obviously is just a waste of time. They're not going to come to any conclusion other than that Hijab didn't do anything wrong. Or maybe they'll say, yeah, he was slightly deceptive. He shouldn't have done that, but you also shouldn't go public, right? So she still thinks that she can get goodness and justice out of Islam. So she's still a victim of this religion. And I think people should be praying for her, that she eventually wakes up and realizes that, yes, Mohammed Hijab is the problem, but also the problem is Islam.
We certainly hope. And Hatun, you kind of already summed up very well, but any final thoughts here?
Well, Islam is just sucks.
It does. It certainly does suck.
We are reading those messages, watching these videos, but overall, those are the individuals who are made in the image of Lord Jesus Christ, and God loves them and he gave himself for them. So even though they like living in darkness and they justify that, they need to be out of it. They need to be out of it. So we step in and then expose the ideology of Islam and preach the gospel so that they can run away. Islam sucks. And if they are doing this to their Muslim sisters, David would express a little bit earlier, that they are doing the very, very similar and much uglier version of it to the children, white British girls in Britain under the label of grooming gangs. So we need to keep our children safe, as well as our heart goes out to the Muslims who are suffering from this disgusting ideology. It's just messed up. Stay away from Islam.
Yeah, and along those lines, with the connecting this to the grooming gangs, one of the most disturbing things ever with the grooming gangs was a girl was talking about how she just grew up in an area where basically any Pakistani guy can just take you and do whatever he wants and just grab you and go and do what, and him and 5 of his friends can do whatever they want to you. And she said she thought it was normal. She just thought it was normal life to grow up in an area where any of these Pakistani dudes can just do whatever they want to you. She said she thought it was normal because that's all she had known from the time she was 5. From the time she was 5 when they started, it was all she had ever known. And she didn't know there was anything weird about that or anything wrong about that. She just thinks it's totally normal. And what Hatun was just pointing out is that's the same thing they do to Muslim women and girls. They just raise them to think it's normal. And then what's the result? You got people like Aisha thinking it's normal to be treated like this. And the only thing she saw that was weird was Mohammed Hijab changed the agreement. And that's the part that really bothered her. It's like, you should be bothered by a lot more than that, Aisha. And you should be looking into why this level of sickness and depravity is normal in your religion. The reason it's normal in your religion is because your religion is demonic. It is straight from the pits of hell. It is not from God. And so we hope the best for you. We hope you're paying attention to all this, and we pray that you will come to your senses, snap out of this, and be on your way out of Islam. And with that said, we'll catch you all next time.